Hello again everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. We're back in the ATR today at Bristol Airport, where I begun my first job in fact for TUI at the time. Well, at the time it was Thomson Airways. Trained as cabin crew on the 757-200 and the 767-300 as well, where I was based for about a year. So I've got fond memories, a nice little attachment as well to Bristol Airport, to be honest with you all. And it's great to be flying now on a route to Shannon and back in this ATR72-600 on the VATSIM network. And the latest GSX profile as well, which has recently been updated to include native support for the ATR. So, ooh, look, they're all moonwalking. Don't know what that was about. Very weird. But anyway, they're all boarding anyway, looking pretty good. We're going to have our work cut out for us today. Got a lot of things to kind of get through throughout our journey. We've got this wonderful Demo Designs painted Aer Lingus Regional ATR livery, which is available on flightsim.to. Badger, commentator Dursey2, Matthew, Ian, hello folks. Great to have you on board with us today. I hope you're looking forward to the stream. Loadmaster Sean, good afternoon. Alberto, Rab, welcome. Shuts, hello to you guys. Steve as well. Lots of channel members in the live chat. Weird behaviour from GSX with the moonwalking stuff going on at the moment. That's a little bit peculiar. But we've got a custom Bristol profile. They're all coming out of the building to board our flight to Shannon today. About 70 or so passengers on board, so we are basically full. And we're tracking the flight on New Sky as well. I can't help myself, sorry. Steve, great to hear. Loving the tutorial. Matt, good afternoon. Living on a Player AR Simulations. Loads of channel members. Ashton as well. Good day. So 3 episodes of our ATR tutorials are live already on the channel. And later on today, we're going to have episode 4 as well. Coming soon. Yes. Oh, what are they called? Yeah, is it Heelys? I can't remember. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, yeah, Pilot Plus Bristol. Beautiful airport scenery. Really quite nice indeed. We've already got somebody over there in the Osprey ATR Legend. In fact, there's potentially another one there as well. No, that's a 737. While the passengers are boarding, though, let's get comfortable in the flight deck and have a look at Navigraph. If you're new to the channel as well, by the way, very warm welcome to you. Hit like and subscribe as well down below. I think it is a Michael Jackson convention in Bristol. Maybe they're all in Shannon, in fact. They're all flying out to Shannon for it. Okay, so pushing back from stand 2-1 here. Very small little taxi or stand here. Pushing back facing east on Zulu. And then we're going to taxi out to Alpha X-Ray. Departing runway 27 on the Brecon 1 X-Ray departure. Out to 6,000 feet, overflying the Brecon VOR up here. Just Willie, hello to you, welcome. So flying runway heading, and then out over the water, over towards Wales. And then heading over the Irish Sea, Slaney, Wexford, and then across to Shannon MKS Studios, Shannon Airport scenery once again, which is quite nice. Certainly ideal for these aeroplanes. Perfect for it, in fact. About 1 hour 30 each way, so we're going to have our work cut out for us to finish on time when we get back at Bristol later on as well. Currently, as you can see on the left-hand side, we're departing with a 12-knot headwind and a 2-knot crosswind at Bristol. If we enter the weather charts on the left, you can see the METAR there as well. I'll put the command for it in the live chat so that you guys can get the METAR fetched straight into the chat for you to peruse and have a look at. There it is. So, pre-flight wise, we've got the gust lock engaged, park brakes set, chocks are on. The GPU is running the electrics for now, and there's our departure weights and things. So zero fuel weight of 20.271, fuel weight of 23.07, and gross weight of 22.578. So the heaviest that we've operated this so far to date. And I've actually fiddled around with my throttle bits for today too, so I'm going to see if I've maybe improved that ever so slightly as well. Who knows? Probably not. I tend to break these things. So I've already got all this input. Heading out of Bristol, we've selected 27 and the Brecon 1 X-ray departure. And then, because to work around some of the bugs that are in place at the moment, we've then gone ahead and selected the Tipu 2 Delta arrival into Shannon, expecting the ILS runway 24, direct to final. No Shannon overfly. And then in between, we've then added in our waypoints and things. Good evening, Gav. Doc as well, hello to you. Congratulations, as Gav's finished his first ATR flight. How did you find it? Night Shepherd, welcome as well. Dirty2, Rab, welcome folks. Maybe that's the root cause of your problem, Rab. Maybe there's a 146 issue, so it's kind of actively blocking you from loading the sim. V1 113 knots, rotate 113, and V2 117. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. And we've got that set up here for the altitude selector knob as well, so 6,000 feet there, and runway heading is set as well on our compass. Flight directors are armed. How are we doing on boarding? 62 out of 70. Take that hat off and hurry up, get on the plane. Clear the master cautions. Takeoff mode's engaged. And to work around... Actually, I'm not sure with native support now with GSX whether or not... let me clear the Nightbot thing. It's reactivated itself, my goodness. I'm not sure, you guys might be able to tell me actually, whether or not we can run hotel mode with GSX prior to pushback without kind of trying to trick it. I don't know if that's then included in the native support or not. Let's go on to, is it Forum's FS Dream team? GSX support MSFS, there we go. Let's have a little look live. April 27th, offline installer. GSX Pro, new internal profiles for hotel mode is supported. Epic. Right, let's test that then, because we've updated GSX for today. Rightio. So, let's fire up hotel mode. Pump 2 is set to run, following the flow down. We'll pop the wing lights on, and because we're tracking it on New Sky, we'll put the beacon lights on as well, because of the way that tracks the aircraft states. Prop brakes on and guarded, blue, cyan. Brown to start AB, start 2 on. Engine displays, looking at the NH. Start mode's active, pressure's rising. 315. Fuel control, condition lever, engine 2 to feather. Cargo's being loaded at the front. We're almost ready. Maverick, I think it's just a weird state saving that it's got. I've noticed I'm getting the same thing. Beacon light is always switched on by default, it seems, which is a little bit confusing, but nevertheless, it is what it is. I guess we can kind of work around it, perhaps. Joey Goofy, welcome. Maverick, by the way, thank you for subscribing and welcome on board to you. Jeff's excited to see we're back in the cool little aeroplane. We're yet to fly the ATR42, to be fair, but the principles, the operation of it is all the same. In fairness, I think somebody asked that a moment ago in the live chat as well. Sorry for missing that. In VATSIM it shows my prop running, Lazarus says. That's pretty cool. So that's all done now. That's all good. Wild power is shown fault and DC Gen 2 is shown fault. So we're going to come off those. DC Gen 2 is now live. Prop brake stays active. Lights and signs set as required. We can clear the ground power unit. And we can close the main door as well. How's the cargo coming on? Come on, Menzies. Wait for that little sit rep that we get from GSX to tell us how many bags are loaded. And what we can do is prep for pushback as well. So, boarding passengers now, prepare for pushback. We'll queue it. Justin, thanks, buddy. That is basically hotel mode as best as we can get it. We don't need to do anything else with it. So we'll have engine 2 effectively running, and that is now maintaining all of our electrics. We've cleared the ground power unit from the EFB there as well. 33% bags loaded. My goodness. There we go. We can see the vents, the exhaust for engine 2 running away. We've got some sounds. By the way, Demo Designs hasn't yet created a custom cabin for this livery. However, those of you who have found the Osprey Airways ATR72 on FlightSim.to, you can download it now thanks to Tapsi, and that has a custom cabin. Very exciting indeed. Rightio, what else do we need to set? So we've done the tilt for the radar down to -3 degrees, and we've got that on standby at the moment. Yes, also for the nav, if we go to nav here, we've tuned the Brecon VOR 11745, and the ADF as well is active for Bristol should we have to turn back on ourselves for any reason if we have any problems. Surveillance is set to 2000, which is the transponder. TCAS set to automatic. We'll turn the transponder on once we start to get towards the runway. We'll pop pump 1 on as well, and we'll use start abort for now. Make sure we don't have any problems with engine 1 starting to run. This guy needs to hurry up. I can see somebody else has got hotel mode active over there in the ATR. Good work. 67%. We're on time actually still. This is working quite nicely. 7 minutes to departure is what we planned, timing wise. Roshan, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Oh, you know what we could also fire up? The Luke Air tool for those custom cabin announcements. We've not used them for a little while, but we're flying Aer Lingus today, so let's have a look to see if we have got some Aer Lingus announcements. We do. We don't have Aer Lingus Regional though. We have Emerald Air. No. So we could use Aer Lingus.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're struggling to find space in the overhead locker above your seat for any larger wheelie suitcases, I would kindly ask that you please make your way towards the back of the aircraft, where the crew will help to find space and ask the open overhead lockers.
This one's a bit buggy. It doesn't always seem to work nicely for us.
Shortly departing, we're in preparation for departure now. Please check that your seatbelt is securely.
We'll just leave it on one of those tabs for now. Also, something worth pointing out, you can actually click to complete some of these checklists on the screens apparently. I haven't tried it myself, but Aaron, hello, welcome. You can tick through by those little toggles there. I've mentioned it in my tutorials, episode 1 I believe, for that in fact. To be sure, Jeff. By the way, if Hayden tunes in, make sure that you guys give him a little nod, make sure he signs up to our Discord server and pings me a DM.
Any large or portable electronic devices or laptop computers, however, must be powered down and stowed for taxi, takeoff and landing. And if your
auto mode goes to manual, and I should probably, where's my ATR checklist? There we go. I updated that last night as well for you guys on FlightSim.to for those that use it, just to make sure we've cleaned up a little bit of the flow. Boarding complete. Departure clearance requested. Here comes the dispatcher. Look at this. It's like clockwork. Yeah. Yeah, may not have been a
Hello, Captain.
BTU in the background of that announcement there. We do our best though. Our call sign today, folks, Gemstone 5 November Papa. Bristol traffic, Gemstone 5 November Papa stand 2-1, ATR72-600, push start to face east, Bristol.
Departure check completed.
So, aircraft, clear the cargo door and the tail props, park brakes on, let's clear the chocks as well. And up there we've got the beacon lights on. Other lights and signs, as required, emergency exit lights are armed. Hydraulics are showing low pressure at the moment, they're fine, same with the Wild Power 2, and the probe heating will remain at fault until prop 2 has begun the rotation, because we're in hotel mode at the moment. What the? Oh, didn't expect that. I don't know how I've not noticed that already.
Traffic, parking brake 5.
Based east on Zulu, rock and roll.
Parking brakes.
Park brakes off.
Commencing
And
push.
we're going to start prop rotation.
Engines
Engine
clear.
2.
Start at will.
So we've been told by the controller, or the dispatcher, sorry, that engines are clear. We're going to flick this around to start A and B, disengage the prop brake, and that went red. We're going to throw that into automatic as well. This loads up really quickly. The engine start sequence in the ATR is around about 16 to 20 seconds.
Traffic Logan 26 Golf will be present 4 facing south.
If you are wearing headphones, please remove them at this time. We will now draw your attention to the safety features on board this aircraft.
Got probes on.
To fasten your seatbelt, insert the flash metal end into the buckle to secure it around your waist, pull firmly on the strap, and to open your seatbelt, lift the buckle cover. There are 8 emergency exits, all of which are clearly marked by red and white exit signs. Floor plan lighting will guide you to these exits in poor visibility. There are 2 doors.
I heard a Logan Air, but I haven't seen one.
Right. 2 doors at the back of the cabin, one left and one right.
We'll keep an eye out.
In the centre of the cabin at rows 12 and 13, there are 4 overwing window exits.
Bristol traffic, Osprey 2472, type ATR72-600 with starting on.
Okay, let's see if we can cool them down, shall we?
Bristol traffic.
Take time now to locate
There we are.
the exit nearest you, bearing in mind it
Let's
may be
chill them.
behind you. And in the event you should need to use one of these in an emergency, please leave all cabin baggage behind you.
Bristol traffic.
If the
Osprey
cabin
244.
Damo, hello buddy. Yeah, nice work with the livery here. It's really, really good work.
Set parking brakes.
There we are. Shown it off a couple of times now. Really, really stunning livery. Damo, by the way, folks, makes a lot of our new Osprey Airways fleet. Fantastic livery artist. Makes beautiful work.
You should take it out of the package and put the jacket over your head. The last strap should be
Power management's on takeoff.
in the front, clipped and pulled tightly. Each jacket has a light and a whistle for attracting attention.
Lap 15 for takeoff.
Raise the jacket by pulling down your
We're going to do a... Not going to bother with a warning ring just yet because we've got to get engine 1 started. Big Flex says Air Serbia's got a good livery for this as well. On yeah, there's one available on flightsim.to, isn't there? That's quite nice. We'll make sure FMS 1 is... Get out of my flight deck.
Correction, runway 27.
Unlocking gear.
Yeah.
Steadiest before departure.
Flight directors, heading, autopilot. Overhead panel, no white lights. Prop brake is off and guarded.
For your attention, and of course wish you a pleasant and comfortable flight with us.
Tow truck disconnected.
We're going to flick both of those to MDA now.
Giving your cabin lights for takeoff and doing so again
Left
for
is clear,
landing.
right is clear.
This is part of our
Aidan, we're flying on VATSIM, so it's recognising the models of aircraft, the call signs, and matching them accordingly. Stuart, it doesn't. In fact, hold on. Have I still got that in my checklist? No, I don't. Eesh. Right, okay. Don't trick me like that. Where's the ground pin? There he goes. Jolly good. Get out of the way, please. We've got to go flying. Charts are ready. Bristol traffic, Gemstone 5 November Papa's taxiing to hold point Alpha X-ray runway 27 via Zulu, Bristol. Bar brakes off. Now you'll notice we haven't disengaged the gust lock, so we can't do flight control checks. Get rid of that. Full right. Full left.
Bristol traffic,
All the way back. All the way forwards.
From stand 33, Bristol traffic.
Little bit of power. Taxi lights on.
Bristol traffic, Logan 26 Golf is going to taxi via Zulu to runway 27.
Aaron says the checklist's on the nav display or display unit 3 here. The click spots for up, down and validator to the left in the warning box.
Bristol traffic, Oscar 344.
There we are.
Start at
Like so.
82. Bristol traffic.
Okay, so let's start and rotate propeller number 2 as we taxi out on idle with only one prop. One thing I do love about this aeroplane is the ability to taxi around like this. So pump 1 is on, engine start A and B, engine 1 start. NH rising.
Traffic Osprey 495, taxi via Zulu to Colby.
315,
For
weather.
27. Bristol.
Roshan, so it keeps track of total profit for me as the airline owner for Osprey, but similarly it doesn't keep track of it for you guys. You can't see the financial side of the airline, if that makes sense. On Discord though, every week in the little New Sky thread I put in there for you all kind of like the financial results for that period of time. Down here, let's go condition lever automatic, and then nav display armed for the system mode there.
Hold short for Osprey 84 whiskey.
I heard Logan Air, but I'm yet to see one. Look how quickly it accelerates now. We're going a little bit downhill here.
Bristol traffic, Oscar 344.
Roshan, fair enough.
Behind the traffic pattern, holding short runway.
QNH 1013 for departure.
Bristol traffic.
Metar EGGD just to refresh that. Yeah, so winds 260 degrees at 12 knots, all the nines, broken cloud at 800 feet, broken cloud at 2200 feet, overcast 2800 feet, temperatures 13 degrees Celsius, dew points 11 degrees Celsius. So there's a 2 degree spread, and a QNH 1013. Just going to bring that speed off a little bit. Okay, so weather radar, we're going to pop that on. We're going to select react mode. Let's go section for a little while actually, but let's try that out. Bristol traffic, Gemstone 5 November Papa via Alpha X-ray lining up runway 27. Bristol. All the lights on.
Bristol traffic, Osprey 84 whiskey, taxiing Zulu to Alpha X-ray, Bristol traffic.
Down here we're going to push takeoff config. That went blue there to show config OK.
And Bristol traffic, Osprey 2472 is holding short runway 27 at Alpha X-ray.
And
will give 2 minutes separation.
we're going to select notch mode for takeoff today. All will become clear in an episode 4 tutorial going live. Ah, there's the Logan Air. Epic. I've got to get a screen grab. Going live in the next few hours. Beep beep. Osprey Regional. Love it. And Logan Air. That's a mighty little trio right there, isn't it? Very smart. That's AIG doing the model matching for that ATR, I believe. Same with the Osprey Regional livery too. That's also FSLTL. Okay, I think it's high time we depart, folks. So, making sure my charts are ready on the bottom left. We're going to get the control visualizer up for you guys as well. Ground idle is now gone to flight idle. We're going to resync those throttles. That's all set. We're happy with those. They're set. Clear that. Just changing the pitch of the propellers. Happy. Stick forwards a tad. Brakes off. Bristol traffic, Gemstone 5 November Papa is taking off runway 27, Brecon 1 X-ray departure Bristol. Oh, there's me throttle click spots. Notch, there we go. So we're setting notch for departure, not ramp, because we've got a little bit more runway length. We haven't got any crosswinds to kind of fight or terrain to avoid. In fact, Bristol is on a hill.
And Bristol traffic, Osprey 247 line up
so-
and light, runway 27, Bristol traffic.
There we go. Aeroplane begins to pitch up itself. We're just holding the nose off slightly, a couple of degrees, about 5 degrees, as we begin to take off. Then clear of the runway. Landing gear up, positive rate. Touch the brakes as well, just to stop the wheels. And climbing. AR simulations note, should update it itself, buddy. Little bit bumpy. Your dampener could go on now. Nav mode. VNav. Autopilot engage. Little F. As we cross that, we're going to clean the flaps up. And 1,000 above, we can just move the power management lever to climb. It's going to change power management of the aeroplane into the P suit.
Waiting for the Osprey.
Going to put airframe icing on.
And make it 2 minutes separately, and following him landing at runway 27. Traffic.
Flaps up. It's increasing speed for 170 knots now. Did we put TCAS on? Transponder on. There we go. My bad. My bad. And we're away into the P suit for our journey to Shannon once again. A few weeks since we last visited. But Bristol as well, we've not been here for a very long time.
Bristol traffic, Osprey 244.
Base, hello, says, I won't lie, you're probably the best Microsoft Flight Simulator streamer. I've learned so much from zero experience. Thank you so much for everything. That's really nice to hear. I appreciate that. We all start from zero. And obviously the key theme behind the channel is community first, helping everybody else have a nice experience and feel part of a good community as well, a very helpful community. Taxi lights off.
Rolling runway 2.
Look at that, into the P suit big time. Interestingly enough though, we've got the weather radar on. And it's picking nothing up. Got the gain switched on. I thought it worked. But alas, it doesn't seem to. Let's keep it going. All the way to 16,000, which is our cruise today. And actually I'm going to leave it in VNav because I want to see how it behaves with the constraints here. So at Brecon we need to be at 6,000 feet.
Bristol traffic, Logan 26.
Cleaning through the clouds.
Line up runway 26 and wait. Bristol traffic.
It's a cracking looking aircraft, isn't it? By the way, this doesn't yet, at the moment, do automated holds. It doesn't do it at all. I've spent almost 2 hours this morning trying to sort out a tutorial video to show you how to do holds in this. Realised very quickly it doesn't work, and there are many issues with it. So I then spent a little while within that 2 hours trying to work out how to work around some of those bugs to see if I could perhaps force it to work with an automatic hold. And it still didn't. So I've had a good discussion with Hans. Look at that. And it's already fixed. And it will be included in an update coming very soon. What have we got? There we go. Look at that. That's absolutely spectacular. The coast down below.
2,000 feet on the Brecon 1 X-ray departure. Still traffic.
Eric, hopefully soon. It's in the marketplace already. Maybe in the near future it will go to Xbox, but there's no time frame for it, buddy. Dan says I need to learn how to do liveries because I can't wait anymore for a Tarom ATR. I'm a graphic designer, it shouldn't be that hard. Give it a go. It's all part of the learning process, isn't it? That's the thing. We're going to go down to manual thrust now. So it's actually levelling off here quite nicely at 6,000. Look.
Bristol traffic, Ryanair 569 is actually the Alpha X-ray, Golf Forum 27, Bristol.
Traffic Logan 26 Golf will take off and wait.
Shaquille, just slowly over time they've begun to kind of reach out, and I have conversations with some of them. Ollie yeah, it is. It is in a way, providing, say for example you're used to the CRJ, then it all comes quite naturally for you. Eric, in what sense, buddy? Is it more in the sense that you're flying a... are you using reverse thrust at that point, or something else? 5,000's looking good, actually, you know. And you can see there, magenta is active for VNAV, holding the altitude at 6,000, which is the next... Go plus. There it is, the next constraint at Brecon. So that's what it's respecting at the moment. And that's pretty cool. But what we're going to do is select IAS mode now to bust through the constraints. We're going to select notch again, ever so slowly. There we go. And we're going to continue the climb. Dobrinas, yes, I will, but again, that's another feature that's actually quite broken. So that and holds, once they become a bit more stable, VNAV works better, holds work, then I'll be looking to do episode 5 and 6 tutorials covering things like an RNAV approach for the ATR, automated holds, and one other topic as well. I can't remember what it is now. Yeah, I can't remember. But episode 4 at 1600 Zulu today. It's going to be a video, very short. It's about 4 minutes in length, folks, as well. So we're going short and sweet with the next couple of episodes in the ATR tutorial series. And it's going to discuss the difference between notch and ramp, when and when not to use either of them. And I'm going to then take off and give you an example of a few things. There's a couple of operating things you've got to kind of bear in mind that somebody's clarified on another video that I've done, preempting preempting them potentially being in episode 4. So standard pressure. How's that cabin temperature doing? 23 degrees. That's a bit more comfortable, isn't it? Gav, thank you, buddy. Clear airframe on. Turn the engine start off, actually. My bad, I forgot to do that before takeoff there. So after we started propeller number 1, we should have then returned that to the off and start abort mode. But that's fine. We've noticed it now anyway. You could argue in a way that it was good to leave it on at start A and B because we were going through the clouds. There's a risk of icing and things. And you'll notice it climbs very slowly. Probably going to be overtaken very quickly by the folks in the 737s that are flying along today as well. What have we got here for some views? There we go. Gav, generous as always. Thank you very much for the super chat, and thank you very much for the ongoing support as well, of course. Eric, interesting. Yeah, I've not noticed that, to be honest. I've had my hands full every time I've landed this, to be fair. But it might be worth something like monitoring and having a little look at, and maybe even raising it as a bug, perhaps, if it is the case. 10,000, landing lights off. I'm going for the 10 out of 10 today, folks. Seatbelt signs can come off as well. Logo lights can go off. Wing lights can go off. So we're just left with nav, beacon and strobe. My condition levers are stuck at feather, Steve says. Interesting. I've not had that before. Oh, quite slow, Samuel. Maybe like, well, it depends on the wind for ground speed, but around 150 to 190 knots as an approximation. Have a quick peek at Volanta to see where we're at. Good old screenshot upload failed. I've got 7 screenshots and it's failed every single one of them. But you can see our departure routing for today. Straight out, runway heading initial bit there where we've been flying it manually, actually we've managed to hold runway heading quite nicely there, but then turning over the Bristol Channel, heading between Cardiff and Newport, where we're now reaching Brecon, over Merthyr Tydfil, Carmarthen, and then the Irish Sea. Rosclar Harbour, passing slightly north of Waterford before then making our way towards Shannon. Then we're going to turn around and do the same thing again. Got a left turn any moment, which is why I'm kind of holding the view here of this wing at the moment. Unless it's really bugged out on the start, on the SID. We are monitoring it. We should be crossing Brecon now. Okay, yeah, no, it's doing it. Happy days. Peter says a little bit more to it, really. The bug with the altimeter, and I assume that you're meaning the kind of discrepancy where it might level off around 100 to 200 foot short of what you're looking to achieve for cruise, or whatever altitude you've set. Now that's a wider VNAV bug which has been fixed, and you probably have found actually as well that you'd struggle to kind of get around it and actually fix it. However, they have fixed it. Effectively, one of the things that were causing the problem, Asobo had put in to the files, without the developer's knowledge, an extra file which has then caused issues and clashed with another file within the ATR. So that's now been found, patched, fixed, the whole lot. There's a whole load of other fixes as well, like holds, that are going into the updates. So lots to look forward to. A fair bit of promise as well for what is an incredibly cheap aeroplane. That is great fun to fly as well. Steve, here's a question for you, Steve, with the issue with the control levers, the condition levers. Have you pressed escape at any point and gone into the menu and then gone back in and clicked resume into the sim? Because it has a very similar bug to that of the Phoenix, where if you click escape at any point, it will jam the condition levers, or the throttle's fully forward or somewhere else, and you will not be able to reset them any other way. So it may be worth then, if you have done that, the only workaround for that is a restart of the flight, annoyingly. Dercy2 says, have I ended up getting MK Studios Dublin version 2 in the end? Still no, still refuse to buy what is effectively, or should be, an update for free. And like you're saying there, still somewhat fuming as I still get crashed to desktops with Dublin version 1, and he's complained but heard diddly squat. That's why you guys have got to be really careful of MK Studios, because they seem to be adopting a model now of releasing a scenery that has a few things missing in it that we eventually then want. When that scenery breaks, they just mothball it, and then they release an update, but then charge you the same price again. So you're effectively then buying the scenery twice. I think it's a disgraceful practice. I cannot stand it. And as Rab is saying, but you're getting a new an extra runway. That's the issue. Peter says, what about the bug where you can't turn the engines back on for a turnaround? I've not experienced that yet. However, if you watched the stream the other day, we flew into and out of Chios, on one of the Greek islands there, between Thessaloniki to Chios to Athens, and
Logan 26 Golf will climb to flight level 200, cruising altitude.
Effectively,
traffic.
That again, because of that stream, actually, funnily enough, somebody clipped it and put it in as a bug and said, look, this is a problem, this is a bug. And they clipped the live stream, sent it to the developer, which is really good. I then had a DM from the developer saying, I've just been sent this, It's definitely a bug. I've worked out what the problem is. So again, that's going to be patched in the next update, the turnaround bug, as it's known, where you can't achieve full power after a turnaround in this aeroplane, which is kind of key. It's a regional hopper. It's designed to do short, punchy routes, and multiple of them, many of them. How are we doing up front? Flight level 160, there we go. So almost at cruise now. Let's go power management to cruise. We've got auto speed target on again, so as we level off, the speed's going to jump up. The aeroplane will accelerate. Night Shepherd, that doesn't sound good. Similar issue there to potentially RAB with the issues. Can you please upload your custom view camera file for the ATR into flightsim.to? Doc's asking. Got a VNAV again, because that way it's going to target now 245 knots. There's the ground speed for somebody who asked. It's 198 knots at the moment as we accelerate through 180 knots. Ground speed of 199, 200. So we've got a bit of a headwind actually. Look, actually that doesn't make any sense. We've got a headwind. Typically your ground speed would be slower than your airspeed. Alt holds active. Jolly good. 16,000. Probably because that one over there is linked at 1013 as well for standard pressure. And we're going to leave the throttle in notch. Like so. My keybinds seem quite nice actually. Yeah, my true airspeed is higher to be fair. I'd have to work out the maths behind it all without like slow time. Aviation Fun, welcome back. Steve J says it works in the Flybe livery but not in the Origny and Osprey livery. It's very interesting. Hopefully we can see if Tapsy is around, if he's aware of any issues with it being packaged wrong or something wrong with it. I don't know, but I downloaded it okay earlier, the Osprey livery, and actually flew a flight with it to record episode 4, and it worked okay. So it might just be a keybind issue there, a binding issue of some sort. Simeric says, is this a really fun aeroplane? Absolutely. And it's different. You know, for the last 2 years we've been getting release after release of 737s, A320s, we've got the Flybawire A32NX, we've got the twin aisle A330-900, the 747-8 Salty Sim mod, Heavy Division 787, a lot of influence and an emphasis on airliners. And then on the other scale, the other end of the scale, we then have things like all the general aviation aircraft that are coming through to the size of a Twin Otter. Which is strange. So now this offers us something entirely different, entirely unique, for a very different style of flying as well. And it's nice. It allows us to then also think about exploring some of these more remote and smaller airfields and airports around the world. So many different liveries already available on flightsim.to for us to go and enjoy. William says he disliked the CRJ but loved the ATR. Interesting. They share some similarities with the way like the throttle gets managed and things like that. For example, to be honest as well, I've also found being able to fly the CRJ quite nicely has allowed me to learn this a little bit easier as well, and manage the throttles in this fairly smoothly too, without too many hiccups and complications. But so far, I do find it a really enjoyable aeroplane to fly, Simeric, and I do highly recommend it. Certainly, if you've got Premium Deluxe, you get it for about £10. That's an absolute bargain. I don't think we would have ever have expected an aircraft with fairly decent level of detail. It's not the MDG 737 level of fidelity, but it's kind of akin to that of the Aerosoft CRJ level of detail and complexity behind it. For £10, that's just insane. Those of you who saw the stream 2 days ago know that I ended up getting the marketplace bug where I paid full price for it, even though I've got Premium Deluxe. So even for £16, which is about $20 or so, I'm still more than happy with what we've got for that. It's really quite impressive. And having had very good conversations with Hans, the chap who has been developing this, some of the bugs that we've been discussing and things like that, I've been helping kind of identify and squash bugs, sending various flight plans for things that I've done away from streams, where I've identified things, and a lot of these bugs and things are being patched. Hannibal Games, interesting question. I'm not sure actually. MPS Gaming, hello, says he likes the CRJ. Same, it's a very nice aeroplane. Then we see how I like the ATR after I've had a look at Luke's tutorials, good to hear. And after you've done a flowchart, of course, you love a flowchart, MPS Gaming. Hannibal says it's only on the ATR. Perhaps it's just an issue with the MCVU, to be honest. Let's have a look. There you go. I've got the same thing. So it might be worth raising that as a bug on the MSFS forums too. Of course, like yourself, I've got the latest Navigraph air rack, but doesn't seem to actually be in there. And it's also showing the MSFS nav database active as well. Hopefully that'll be patched at some point in the future to allow Navigraph to work independently within the ATR. 22 minutes on route time so far. I want to see what it looks like from this side, this angle as well. If we go right up to the pillar, can't quite see that. Let's see. Yeah, so you kind of have to really lean to get an idea of the scale of the aircraft and the prop being displayed. Oh look! Displaced. Do I have the 777? No. Captain Sim products are absolute dog mess. Don't waste your money on that sort of thing. The quicker that developer goes bust and goes away, the better for all of us, to be honest. Captain Sim are a plague on this community. Who is that? Love it. Osprey pilot gone rogue. Oh, aviation fun. Yeah, no, sorry about that. You guys have been utterly ripped off. Cornelius, welcome, buddy. Silver frequent flyer. Should I refund it? If you're going to enjoy that level of aeroplane, it's, you know, that again, that's a question that you can only answer yourself. They are nowhere near even remotely reasonably complex. Jeez, that's a lot of data. I can see a TCAS warning though. There he is. So yeah, TCAS is active, but it's not actually giving us any TARA. At this point, I'm trying to get the passenger view. At this point, the passengers are going to be like, "What the heck is going on?" There he is. Little speck underneath the prop there. Ian says, "That's me, why am I going past?" Depends on your speed really. I'm still doing 217 knots bizarrely. Maybe I can whack the throttle up a little bit more. Lazarus says King Air is doing his best to keep up. Andrew, welcome aboard. Drastish, is SimBrief enough for the Boeing 737-800 to fill in all the data properly, or are more programs needed? I would certainly make sure you use something like Class Airplane Toolbox. That would be really important. Certainly for your performance calculations, but otherwise SimBrief is enough. Yes. That's lovely down there, look at that, the Welsh coast. Absolutely spectacular. Where's the plane? There he is. No auto throttle, it's manual throttle control only in this. Aviation Funds asking about the ATR checklists that I've created. Yeah, you can print them out. They're designed to either be used on another screen, downloaded and used on a tablet or something like that when you're simming and flying along, or printed and used as a hard copy as well, as a physical checklist. So it's entirely up to you how you want to use those checklists. The main thing is you find them useful and enjoyable. Ian's got nitrous oxide in his fuel, I think. Damo, no, you know what? A couple of people have printed them out and laminated them. I think that's really cool. I have, as of this morning, updated the ATR checklist to a slightly better flow. Oh, Andrew, I know. I saw the comments from that guy. I got the feeling very quickly that nothing would please him. So I just kind of stopped reading anything with his username on it. Transair, no. Haven't flown any turboprops before, outside of things like King Airs and stuff, but certainly no turboprop airliners. There you go. Damo, you're not alone. If I had a laminator, to be honest, I would have also printed them. So it means that then I always have them to hand. That's frustrating, Damo. The only thing I can maybe recommend is checking to make sure that you've got the latest Sim Connect, which I think you can download as an extra add-on, even though it should already be in the sim, if that makes sense. Am I done tweaking the checklist? If so, I'll print and laminate it. I think so. I think so. I said that with the MD80 checklist though, and very quickly, very quickly ended up tweaking it again. Ooh, that's a big airport. That is RF Brody, Echo Golf Delta Alpha. And then to the east of that, RAF St David's, tiny little airfield, grass runway strips. In fact, you can see RAF St David there in the centre of the screen. There's the other one. I don't know what's there actually, I didn't know that was an RAF station. Not sure how active it would be. Probably a housing development now, with the way everything's gone. Ian, thank you, yeah, I've done that. Yesterday's screenshots, I put them onto Discord, popped them on Instagram and put a few on Twitter as well. Josh Foxtrot's waiting for the checklists for the 146 and the A310. I will try. I found the last week and a bit there haven't been enough hours in the day, so even today's stream I ended up getting everything ready with literally 5 minutes left to go, where I'd finished my coffee and I was ready to actually go live, so I was cutting it really fine. It's been a lot of tweaks, a lot of renders of videos, tutorials, thumbnails, everything else being created, chats with developers, a whole lot going on behind the scenes. And tweaks to the checklist, of course, as well. So, not too much further to go, to be fair. We've still got probably 40 minutes. Most likely. So we can have a little look at the arrival. I'll put the METAR, EINN, into the live chat so you can see. There you go. So winds 240 degrees at 9 knots, all the 9s. View cloud at 1,000 feet. Broken cloud at 2,800 feet. Temperature 15 degrees Celsius, dew point 12 degrees Celsius. QNH again 1013, which is why I think the QNH altimeter bug has evaded us, Peter, because standard pressure is the same as 1013, and similarly on the first officer's side it matches 1013 because that is still also standard pressure. I thought they were linked. Yeah, they're meant to be linked. Weird. So, let's look at Navigraph. We need to think about the arrival. 100% dobre nas, yeah. So we're flying in via Tipper, at or above flight level 80. Gilog, flight level 60, and that's passing Gilog would be a radial outbound from the Shannon VOR of 084, that's what that little greyed out arrow means. And then heading to Derag, where we need to be around 3,000 feet, maximum 220 knots. Let's face it, that's not difficult in this, we're only doing 214 at the moment. And then we're going to be turning inbound for the ILS approach into Shannon. And we could do a Cat 2 ILS, in which case we would use the RADALT set to 99 or 100 is probably the closest we can get it to. And but at the same time I like to hand fly. So I think we'll go for a Cat 1 ILS, standard basic Cat 1 ILS, in which case we'll use MDA with a decision altitude of 215 feet. We need to tune the ILS frequency of 110.905, the Shannon NDB 339, the Shannon VOR 113.3, and we need to cross-check the ILS course of 237 as well. Ian says the big boys are going overhead already, my goodness. Missed approach for this procedure is climb straight ahead to November 012, which is there, 12 miles from the Shannon VOR, runway heading basically. Climb to 4,000 feet, then turn right to the VOR to initiate another approach or turn as directed. So effectively for a missed approach we're going to fly runway heading to 4,000 feet. At 11 miles we're going to begin a turn to the right to head back towards the airfield. At the VOR, direct towards that Shannon VOR, we're going to then overfly. Because we're a Category B aircraft, we're actually going to overfly at 066 degrees out for this procedural ILS approach. There goes the big boys, zooming on overhead. How many airliners were there? There's another one in the background. Oh my god, there's loads in the background. I can see 3. We've got one there, flashing away, another one there, and one that's just gone overhead. Jeez. I mean, that looks epic in the background with the contrails zipping away, doesn't it? It looks really quite smart. What else have we got here? Panning around to see if we can spot anyone else. Oh, whopper of a contrail there. Flying low and slow. 7 aircraft on the train MPS, that's epic. Look at that. Very cool. Visually the sim, certainly with the 4090 now, the RTX4090, and everything's set to pretty much maximum for the graphic settings, it just properly blows me away with the level of detail in the sim. Certainly now draw distances for things like contrails and everything else as well, much further into the distance. Graham, nice. What? Not Graham. Sorry, I keep calling you Graham. Living the dream, Ryan. It is, isn't it? Are you flying a 737 as well, then, by any chance? We've got the Aerosoft North Sea pack installed again, so we've got ships and things like that dotted around the Irish Sea. Alberto, happy anniversary, buddy. Gold frequent flyer, he's been with us for 2 years now. I think you're still the only channel member from South America generally, let alone Chile, so thank you for the ongoing support, Alberto. Ryanair 737, nice, very nice. MPS Gaming says, I wish I wasn't so tired anyway, I had to fly return flight. Oh, where from?
Traffic off Baseball Whiskey descending to keep to Delta arrival for iOS.
Alberto, very kind, saying, my pleasure, easy to continue supporting the channel when the content is great and the captain is pedagogical? Pedagogical? I don't know, I'll have to Google that word. Entertaining and patient, keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Irish coast coming up. Making good progress, a little tanker over there as well actually. On the water, near the port actually, which is quite nice. Good teacher. There we go, I appreciate that. Or, as John says, pedagogical Osprey pilot. Standal, welcome. Let's have a look at some of these ILS frequencies then that we were just discussing. So we'll use RMS on the MCDU this time. We used the glass cockpit element here the other day. So we'll use the MCDU to give you guys a different view and an alternative method to trying to tune in an ILS frequency. What have we got here? So we're on the nav section. We want 1109 110 decimal 905. 110 decimal 905. And we can tune the Shannon VOR 1133 as well. 1133. You can type it like this and it will still go in. 1133. And the ADF as well we can tune just in case. 339. decimal 905. 110 decimal 905. There we go. So I'm actually going to put nav2 active for the ILS already, and I'm just going to leave VOR1 tracking towards Shannon. 100 miles to go. Remember as well, do not trust. I mentioned it in one of the episodes that went live today. Do not trust the top of descent marker in this until they fix the VNAV, because it is very wrong and quite messy. So adapt and overcome. Fly the aeroplane like you would a CRJ. Ashton's overhead apparently. I'm trying to do my best owl impression. Rotate my head 180 degrees. Can't see you though. I'm sure you're going to pop out ahead in a moment. Bigger fly. Is the ATR worth it? For £10? Absolutely. It's good fun. You have to then, you have to spend the time kind of learning it, getting used to how it all works, but it's pretty good. And I'm having good fun with it so far, to be fair as well. In fairness to it. 122 decimal 8 because we're still using Unicom. Okay, minimums is next. So we said we're going to do just a standard ILS Cat 1 approach. We need a decision altitude of 215. So checking MDA is there and there, both matching. We can then set the nearest rounded number. So 215. We've either got 210 or 220. Biggest rule here: round up, not down. Because if you round 210, your minimum's call will actually be 5 foot below the actual charted minimum altitude. So set 220, it gives you an extra 5 feet. Magical. TCAS has gone red there. I'm going to go to this view just to kind of try and find out who it is and where they are. Oh, there's Ashton. Oh, there's two. Look at that. That's very cool. Spacing is awful today. I think it's the worst spacing I've ever had. Scoo, hello to you. Have I had any problems with VNAV after entering a direct? VNAV itself doesn't work very well, so I actively avoid it. If anything, fly your descent like you would a CRJ. We just mentioned it a moment ago, so descend on vertical speed mode, as we will do so today. It ends up making a right pig's ear of the whole thing, so if you use vertical speed mode, you can decide yourself how you want to descend and kind of clean it up and fly it a little bit more accurately. We're going to land with no reverse prop today as well, because I want to see what the ground effect is like.
I think Microsoft naming this an expert series plane is probably because it doesn't have auto throttle. It's Friday. When does happy hour start on this flight? 2 for 1s until the co-pilot passes out.
C2 Alpha, thank you, buddy. Another pint in the wallet. Appreciate the tips. Rab says he's got icing shown detected. Interesting. We don't. Pitch and everything looks fine. 83 miles to go. Very nice. Ian says there's some epic screenshots. Looking forward to seeing them on Volanta actually, and Discord to be fair. In fact, we can see Ian's already on Volanta. There you go. Yeah, they're cool. That almost looks like you've gone Fox 2 on each engine. Sent some sidewinders towards the Atlantic Ocean. There's me! How are you finding the Osprey Regional livery, Ian? Have you noticed as well, hopefully, that's fantastic, rainbow as well. Hopefully you'll have noticed that the carpet has been painted. There's so that's how GSX pushes back an ATR for everyone else looking at you. That is wild. Fantastic. Logan Air 26 Golf. No screenshots. Little Babby King Air behind the Logan Air. That's cool. Ali Simmer. No screens. Oh wow, he's going long ting. Just so happens to be on our route. There's Living the Dream. Osprey 344. That's Ian. Bjorn. No screenshots. And then Badger up front. Well, there's Thunder actually as well. Osprey 84 Whiskey. No screenshots. So a decent little party actually flying along today. For our little 2 sectors. Oh, hello buddy. Welcome, welcome. To be fair, you've probably got your work cut out for you today. There's 2 videos gone live already, episode 2 and 3 for the ATR tutorial series this morning. Today's stream, and then as this stream ends, episode 4 of the ATR tutorial series goes live. The reason being is because I'm very conscious that you won't necessarily want to watch a tutorial video like episode 1 and then wait 24 hours for episode 2, 24 hours for episode 3. So I figured if I smash them all out a couple of hours apart, spaced, it will allow you to watch a couple of them over and over again. Certainly episode 1, getting the pre-flight planning and everything else working, and then you should be able to have all 3 at least to copy the flight. In those 3 episodes as well, actually, the first 3 episodes, I put the route string in there for you. So if you are looking at flying the aeroplane on that same route to practice, follow the tutorial along, then you can do so, because I've popped the route into the into that description of those videos for you as well. So altitude hold is active. Top of descent in 20 miles, 40 miles to Tipper, 6,000 at Gilog, Derag 3,000. So already inbound to the airfield now. Miguel, welcome. So one more time in the live chat, I'm going to put the METAR command in there. So it's going to pull the weather data and show you guys what the weather's doing in Shannon. It'll show me as well. Okay, weather's deteriorated. Winds 260 degrees at 7 knots. Light drizzle now. Few cloud 10,000. 1,000 feet, sorry. Broken 2,700. Temperature 15. Dew point 12. QNH 1014. So make a quick note of that. QNH 1014. Really important. TCAS is now starting to go a little bit mad. We've got one aircraft 2,400 feet above us apparently. There's him as well, whoever that is. I'm like properly looking now for aeroplanes that might be in the way. We can't, there's no holds in this by the way, we have to fly manual holds. Let's set 3. In fact, let's set 6,000 for now. Let's do 8,000. So 8,000 set, we'll then go to Tipper. From there we'll continue down to Gilog 6,000, then Derag 3,000. Like I said, avoid VNAV, it's properly messy. So, vertical speed, nose down. Initially we'll go 600 foot per minute, and then we'll just increase ever so slowly the rate of descent to whatever we feel like we need to make this work. We're actually going to let the speed trickle up as well. Anything up to about 240 knots is fine. Don't want to go any higher than that. Badger, good effort, nice work buddy. KTL, welcome, good afternoon. Keep smashing the like button folks as well if you are enjoying today's live stream. Getting early with the seatbelt sign. Nate, welcome. Rob's got some nice scenery below the clouds. It's a nice part of Ireland, to be fair. Really scenic part of the sim. Bring that range ring in a bit. We'll go for 1,000 foot per minute. We need to bring the throttles back now. Nate's flying Silver Airways as well. Nice in the ATR. That's the ATR42, right? Or have I got those mixed up? The Pink Flamingo airline. Power management. Put that back on takeoff. And we're going to get nav ready on the glass cockpit here. Flight plan ready. Approach speed 113. Go around speed 127. So for go arounds, we would use ramp. Unless we've got an early missed approach, in which case we could use notch if we don't need to worry about you know, climbing, getting away, aborting that landing quick. So, destination weather obtained, arrival data set and checked, radios are set, wing and engine anti-ice as required. Now, because we're going to head through some of this cloud, I'm going to pop the engine and airframe icing systems on for now. FCP set as required, landing elevation is on automatic still, so we don't need to worry about manually setting it. We're quite happy with that. That's got the correct setting input.
Traffic.
There's the VNAV bucket. James Taylor, welcome aboard. Go 1400 foot per minute now. We'll increase that rate of descent. Adjust the throttles again. We've increased the pitch down, so we need to also decrease the throttles to hold the speed that we're currently flying at. Nate, no, but depends on what you've got your aileron trim set to, because if you've got slight rudder trim or aileron trim, then you're going to need to neutralise, centre those back to 0 before you arrive, or take off rather before you take off. Fergie, do it buddy, do it. Still got a little while when we get on the ground to kind of turn around quick time and get ready to go back.
Leaving flight level 190, descending 8,000 feet, joining the 0 to Delta arrival.
Got TCAS below. So the frequency that we want is 11095 for the ILS. As we get towards Gilog, we're going to enter heading mode because we need to check the course is set correctly for the ILS approach. Like we've shown in the tutorial video, episode 3 that went live about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago now. What have we got here? Let's get some of these tasty wing views. There we go, that's a good one. Looking forwards. Gin and tonic in hand. It's a very leisurely experience flying this, isn't it? "15 miles between Tipper and Gilog." Hi Fix, welcome buddy. Thanks for subscribing. Great to have you on board. Ian's loving the ATR so far as well. It's nice and different, isn't it? It gives us something refreshing to kind of enjoy. So there's VNAV, look, it's properly crapped out on itself. It thinks we need to be a lot higher than we need to be, but we don't. We're already still slightly too high, to be totally honest. So we'll continue this down to 6. When we get a little bit closer, speeds, the performance mode here, the speed should automatically snap to approach mode, and the magenta speed target should go down to about 180 knots. Get rid of the music for now. Business time. Bang on. Flight level 80 at Tipper, look at that. See, we've done that, not the VNAV. The VNAV still thinks we're supposed to be like a couple of thousand feet above. Shannon traffic gemstone 5 November Papa ATR 72-600, flight level 77 for flight level 60 inbound Gilog. The ILS approach runway 24 QNH 1014 will report turning final Shannon traffic.
Checking up Aer Whiskey, for
1,000 above. Then it's just a general call really to tell other people in the vicinity that I'm an ATR72, so that way they would know that I'm not potentially say a category C aircraft able to fly at higher speeds. Look at that, so scenic. Jeff says VNAV worked fine for him on his flight yesterday. Descent was a bit steeper than desired, but no issues. Interesting. Andy, I think that's probably the case. I think Microsoft would basically say to the developer, hello, we're going to pay you X amount for an ATR. It has to be ready, regardless of if it's finished or not, on this date. So the developer works until that point when it is ready, and then yeah, and then basically has to kind of just try and quickly fix as many bugs as he can post-release. Trying to keep our speed up because I'm conscious we've got aeroplanes behind us that are a lot faster than us.
Shannon traffic, Ryanair flying the 69,
Ryanair.
6,000 Gilog for the LAX runway 24 Shannon, Ryanair 569.
So, heading, synced, gonna go heading mode, VILS. Look at that, the course is properly balked. So,
Shannon traffic off speed
we need to set
for passing flight
237
4,000
on the course knob up here.
established on the ILS runway 24 Shannon traffic.
.237, flick it across VILS 2, 237. To be fair, actually, that's because stupid me. There we go, 237. That's because I had the wrong one tuned in. 190 knots, go to vertical speed mode, down we go again. We'll do 800 foot per minute for now. QNH 1014. So we're going to go QNH 1014. That matches. MDAs are set. Approach is briefed. Charts are ready. Good day, tube loops. Then just check to make sure you're not using too much power in the prop. I think it's an issue that they've obviously got with the way that the aircraft is kind of behaving with one engine on. What do we want? We want perf, approach speed activate, flight plan. So 170 is what we're going to target next. Oh, look at that. That's better. Accidentally triggered the secondary flight plan there. Ooh. Bit of poo came out, I think. Jeez. Oops. Lights. Signs. Down here we're going to do master caution recall, no warnings. Miles, 5 miles. Ross row at 3,000, so we could actually turn in slightly and try and cut this to help the other guys out behind. Philip, it's about 2 quid. It's not 2 quid, sorry, 10 quid. If not, I'm quickly scrambling to go and buy it. Look at that. Those visuals are really incredible, aren't they?
72, descending by the Tipper 2 Delta arrival, expecting ILS runway 24. Shannon traffic.
Lovely. Really, really nice scenery. Beautiful graphics. 200 knots.
Shannon traffic, Oscar 344 on short final runway 24 ILS. Shannon traffic.
I'm right ever so slightly here.
And Shannon traffic, Oscar 2472 is inbound Gilog. Shannon traffic.
$3,000, 5 miles, that's fine. Ross Row gives us 9 miles to final, so we're going to actually now start to work to turn in early, just to help the guys out behind. We are slower. The ILS is set. What do we got for course again? 237, 267, 30 degrees. Working with the crosswind a little bit here if I can.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 495. 10 miles from Gilog, arrival 342 Delta, shipping speed to 200 knots.
267, that's going to take us direct to Rolls Row now.
Shipping traffic, Logan 26 Gold will descend.
Ready for the approach.
Ready for ILS.
Looking for that speed, the blue or cyan bug to start moving. Going to correct again by another few more degrees to the left. And approach mode armed. Locks armed, now green. It's alive. Glide slopes blue and arms.
Traffic, Oscar 344,
Speed.
runway 24.
Speed's dropped a little bit there. So we're being proactive, getting that speed back up again. Set notch. Shannon traffic gemstone 5 November. Papa is established. ILS 24 at 12 miles. So we'll try and maintain 180 till 4 DME. Somebody... hasn't quite matured properly yet, by the sounds of it. Glide slope's about to go active. Bit sloppy on the speed control there. I've just let it go up to 194 there.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 2472 is overhead dereg. Shannon traffic.
There's the runway.
Shannon traffic, Logan 26 Golf will descend further to 3 down feet. Shannon traffic.
So speed 185 now.
Shannon traffic, Shamrock 2 Mark Charlie holding over direct for traffic.
That's set. Missed approach is set. Resync the heading one more time. 180 knots, just within the flap limitation speeds. Flaps 15. Aaron, good work. Appreciate it. Got 2 ATRs behind us apparently. Can't see them, but working nicely anyway. You'll notice this has a little bit more of a pitch down attitude than say an airliner, where you'd be flying an approach at this point with a slight bit of pitch up. Instead here, because we're trying to help everyone else out, we're doing about 180 till 4 DME. Let's go gear down. What we're then looking at doing is having 160 till 4, just to try and bring that speed down. Through 150 knots now, and we're at 5 miles. Shannon traffic Gemstone 5 November. Papa is at 5 mile final, reducing final approach speed at approximately 110 knots. We can go flap 30. Going to bring our speed down ever so slowly now to about 110, 113 knots.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 2472.
Then again down 3 green. Final check, park brake is off.
Shannon traffic.
There's the outer marker. Elk, how did you know who it was? It's quite impressive. Coming up to 1,000 feet now. Hold in thrust. Remember, no auto throttle, it's on us. Autopilot off my controls. And we're going to clear the yaw damper as well. So it's on us to control the rudder nicely as well. Ever so slightly lost the approach there.
Final ILS to 4. Reducing speed to minimum 120 knots per aspiration.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 2472 is reducing speed to minimum approach.
A little bit harsh on the controls there, my bad. We are back on it. We're actually just flying a visual approach now instead.
500.
Check. 2 red, 2 white on the pappies, happy with that.
Shannon traffic, Logan 26 Golf has passed Rothrow, getting the glide slope for the ILS runway 24, Shannon traffic.
Speed's good.
Approaching minimum.
Altitude's good.
200. Minimum.
A little bit bumpy over the trees.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 2472, 4 nautical mile short final, Shannon traffic.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Holding the flare.
10.
Down. Not going to use reverse prop. That's because we've got to land long to try and help, I think, Ian out behind, who was on short final. 60 knots. Ground idle.
Shannon traffic, Shamrock 2 Mile Charlie, leaving the hold at Durbank and RS24, Shannon traffic.
Shannon traffic, Gemstone 5 November, Papa's vacating. Whoa, that's close, look at that!
Traffic Logan 26 Golf is about 3 miles per mile away from runway 24.
Probes off.
Traffic.
Taxi lights are still on.
Shannon traffic, Pushback 495, we're starting
Flaps up.
to 4.
Let's have a look at the touchdown.
8 miles final.
Bang on the touchdown zone. Slight drift though to the right. Samuel, I'm not sure actually. Okay, so after a minute, we're going to engage fuel control lever, engine control lever, engine 1 to feather. Then 30 or so seconds later, shut it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your continued safety, please do remain seated.
There he is, down. Nice bit of timing. That'll do. Fuel shut off, engine 1 to feather. Then yeah, absolutely. Once the FMS and things, the behaviour of it has been stabilised a bit more, then yeah, we can.
Exited at Alpha, runway clear. Shannon traffic.
Open the overhead lockers in case anything should fall out and cause injury to you or
Oh,
to
GSX.
another passenger. On behalf of Captain First Officer, but especially the operation group this afternoon, we do thank you.
Haven't looked at any
with Aer Lingus. And remember, you will find our best prices for flights, car hire,
any
hotels,
parking stands that are
and
free.
travel insurance on our website, aerlingus.com. We do look forward to welcoming you on board in the very near future.
Go around the corner to 27. Walk in bus gate 30. Oh, that'll do. Press follow me. No, I know where that is. We'll have Aer Lingus. Unless he's at gate 30. Eastern Air, nice. 32. Good. He's not. 30 more seconds in then. So effectively we need to try and keep the speed up on the taxi ever so slightly, just to allow us to not have any problems with the engine, having any problems with kind of decelerating and then not being able to move forwards, only turn left. That's the one, Luke Airtel. And it's free. Stand 30's there. Try and keep this pace on the taxi in here. Taxi lights off, and this is where we get a little bit of a problem now with the way the aeroplane behaves on the ground.
Charlie, 12 miles final, 24.
On one engine. Little bit of faff, but you can just about do it. We've got the world's biggest tug. That's part of the scenery, that tug, I believe. I think. Come on, marshaller, give us the stop sign. Bar brake on. Just lock engaged. That's all set. Lights all set as required. Currently, that's all fine. Down here, then. Shut off the feather. Engine 2. Prop brake is ready. Green. Prop brake on. Locking. Prop brake's blue. We'll leave that on like that. Aircraft. Chocks. Doors. Request the boarding. We'll close the flight. 9.41. Average touchdown. And off centre line landing apparently. Damn it. I tried.
Shannon, Pushback 495, vacated 24.
Passengers.
Shannon traffic, Shamrock 2 Charlie 5 mile final 24.
Oh, look at that one. That's matching what we've got, look. Engine 2 is still technically on because we're in hotel mode. So for him, he's got the opposite direction. He's taxiing in on one engine. That's mega cool. Mega cool. That's pretty. I'm impressed. I like that. I like that a lot. Got a lot of time for that. So, where's the runway? It's over there, isn't it? They're all off in. We've got one on final. So we're going to try and spot him from a distance. I do appreciate though we are quite far away from the runway threshold. I don't know where the runway threshold is. It's about there, isn't it, roughly? Try and spot him. Oh, somebody's booked the return already. Eddie. So I'm going to have to run this as a free flight, bear with me. Down. EINN EGGD 8072 8076 rather, and we'll go 1415, duration 1 hour 20, run it, get the flight plan.
Shannon traffic, Shamrock 2 Mike Charlie vacated 24.
Ian, good to hear, enjoyed that, spacing's perfect. We are going to be creating an ATR42 livery, Jeff, and as David said as well, we're going to place them around Vancouver Island and around Canada to kind of give you guys a good reason to go and explore that part of the world too. Return is going to be 17,000 feet. Generate. Fetch modified. Roger, it's MK Studios, Shannon. It's payware. New flight plan. Shannon to Bristol. Free file on network. VATSIM. Shamrock 5. No, Gemstone 54. Tango Foxtrot for the return. EAI. 54 TF. That's done, that's set, that's set. Performance B. Operator EAI. Gemstone. So with that in mind, we're going to disconnect from the network. 54 Tango Papa, no Tango Foxtrot. EAI 54 Tango Foxtrot. Fat fingers. I think I filed it as an incorrect full sign to begin with. EAI. Yeah, I think on the way out I did EIA by accident. There we are. Then GSX. Wait for that to go green. They're all off in. Request boarding. Quick turnaround here. Samuel, that's probably because you've got potentially an incorrect waypoint or route or something like that for your ATR. Oh, look at that, we've got 2 Loganaires, 1 Osprey, Little Emerald, Aer Lingus Regional, Eastern, another Osprey Regional. That's epic.
Send traffic, Osprey 344 is taxiing to runway 24 via
and then some big boys.
taxiway Delta 1, Delta 2. Send traffic.
Okay, let's get the next sector ready. They're actually look at that, they're actually walking inside the building. I wonder if it's taken them so long to get off and get deboarded. My goodness. Pop that back to ILS 1. Start the flight. I've got to, because of the way New Sky logs this, I've got to turn the beacon light on anyway. And we're going to go to new flight plan, route EINN / Echo Golf Delta for Bristol.
Do you
Execute.
Want to deboard crew?
No, we don't. Yeah, ATRs are made for these tiny little routes. We're going to do runway 24 again, and we've got the Abigu 3 Bravo departure. Execute. Again, to work around the current bugs with the way this works. make sure I've got the. We've got to end that flight, start a new flight, add flight plan from SimBrief. So that's going to update the screen at the top of your overlay. I need to go on to Navigaph as well, import the new flight plan. When it said use airplane fuel BLOS cube, you can do a number of things. One of them is go to the fuel weight and balance tab and basically make it match. So what do we want? We want 1.9 fuel wise. We want 1980 block. That's as close as we're going to get. So we're going to try and round it as close as we can. Payload 7212 total. 7268 is the best we can get there as well. So that's the quickest way. And then you will configure it in the FMS. But yeah, speaking about the bug that's in the flight planning page, at least you have to put the departure route in first, then also be thinking ahead to the arrival into Bristol. Meta EGGD in the live chat. James absolutely will be flying Osprey Airways with this even more, 100%. 100%. Wait for that Metan to go into the live chat. There we go. 250 at 12. Broken at 700 feet though. Clouds dropping in. We're going to then enter here and pop in the ILS-27 via the Badger 1 Bravo arrival and BRI-1 for the ATR, because we're a Category B aircraft, so we're doing the smaller procedural turn. We then have a discontinuity in the middle because we then need to add our flight plan in, and that's how we kind of get around the way these bugs work. So we're going to go Abagu, direct to NGEX, Echo November, Juliet Echo X-ray. Make sure we spell that right. Echo November, Juliet Echo X-ray. Next waypoint. There it is. And then Papa 70 to ASCAP. I'm actually looking at the SimBrief map at the moment because there's only 2 more waypoints for that point anyway, so we're going to just put them in manually because that way it's safer, otherwise it can bug out massively anyway. So we're going to go add have ADHAV on the Welsh coast. New waypoint. Back in here as AgCat. Ag C80. Make sure we've spelt it right. Alpha Golf Charlie Alpha Tango. Next waypoint. And then it says Quebec 63 Airway to Badger, but the next waypoint is Badger. Which is perfect. So we can clear that discontinuity and link it all up, press execute. Job done. Easy peasy. Perf page. Transition altitude can stay 6,000. Where is? Ah, menu. FMS1. Init. Wait. Here we go. So block fuel now. Fuel on board is going to be 1980.
Shannon traffic. Osprey 344 via.
Zero fuel weight estimated 2712.
Lining up runway 24, taking off.
A little bit heavier now, actually.
Bravo.
Very near to the maximum zero fuel weight of the aeroplane. In fact, gross weight of 22,692. That works. And fuel reserve, yes, FinRes plus alternate is going to be 842. Set that like so. And then in here, those figures are updated in green. We can press set, and the aeroplane will then set the trim accordingly for takeoff and things as well. So weight's done, POS init's done, flight plan's been initiated, and the performance page cruise. Flight level 170. Look how quick that has taken us to get ready. So that's it now. We're ready for departure. We're ready to kind of crack on and fly the next leg. Let's brief for the departure though, as the passengers, the baggage gets unloaded still. My God. When are we supposed to depart? 14:15. Woo! Pushing it. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Right, what else can we do? If you do a long press of the soft keys on the weight page, it inserts the weights automatically, Delta Tango says. That's good to know. Let's look at the departure. So on Navigraph then, once again, departing runway 24 here at Shannon. Initially 236 degrees. Maximum 185 knots in a turn southbound to Adaro at or above 500 feet. At Adaro, max 185 knots still. That's really easy in this because we'll be climbing no more than 170 knots. And then we're going to be outbound towards the east. Abagu 3 Bravo departure, climbing up max 250 knots to Abagu, and then we'll be away. Transition altitude here, actually, we need to change that. Look, it's 5,000 feet, so we'll change that in the MCDU in a moment. And the initial climb clearance at the bottom of the charts, 5,000 feet. Our route is going to take us then eastbound across Ireland, then over Wales, and then as we are kind of just past Swansea, we're going to be passing Badger, Banff at flight level 180. We're going to probably ignore that though because we're going to be at flight level 170. So we'll basically maintain flight level 170 for that. Brecon, again, as we passed on the way out, we'll be passing on the way back in again. 11745 for that frequency. Pegsa, and then down to Bristol. Flyover, but holding only Bristol at set flight level 70.
Departure, Shannon traffic.
But we're going to be doing this. So BRI 1 gives us the outbound track of 097 degrees for Category B aircraft, overflying Bristol at 3,000 feet, not 7,000 feet. Outbound to 8 miles before then commencing a left turn, round back on ourselves 180 degrees to intercept the ILS back into Bristol Airport, where we're going to be flying that ILS approach runway 27. Here come the passengers. There's the dispatcher. So, what have we got here? We put TCAS on standby. So transponder, we'll leave it on. We'll leave it on. And we can put TCAS on standby for now. It's on automatic though. I would have thought it would have selected a different mode. Let's click above. Just gonna have little red blobs for now on the screen. So, outbound from Shannon 1133. Let's switch that across. That's all we need. 5,000. And runway heading 236. That's set as well. 2,000 for the transponder. Somebody asked where the transponder is. Good question. So you can press serve down here on this button and it will load up on your display unit 2. Transponder and TCAS. The XPDR, the transponder tab, you've got options 1 or 2. Depending on what you're going to select, you'd set the transponder by pressing in that box and then typing in here the transponder or the squawk code given to you by controllers. In our case today on Unicom, flying IFR, we're going to remain on 2000 for the squawk. Similarly, you can press RMS. So if we're on a different page here in the FMS, or the MCDU, sorry, we can press RMS to go into the radio options, and then you'll see here ATC1, alt mode on, and the squawk code of 2000 set there as well. There's 2 different options for you, depending on what you're most comfortable with. Transition altitude 5,000, so we've updated that now as well. You can see VNAV still flashing away, really confused. That's fine. That's as good as we can get really now. We just wait for the punters to get on. We'll go back to Bristol. That didn't take long. Somebody spawned on top of an Aer Lingus. Or the Aer Lingus, sorry, spawned on top of the Osprey Regional. Hard to race in the 146, maybe I can switch to the longitude, Rab says. I'll speak too soon, but they seem to be bracing a little bit, walking a little bit better this time. The Overcut says I'm flying the return route in an Optica. My god. I don't think that's ever been taken on VATSIM before. I'm impressed. Yeah, the top of the screen is an overlay for you guys watching the stream, so I can't actually see it. But yeah, it's a Volanta stream overlay. So you can see the departure routing, sorry, the departure airport, destination airport, and all that sort of thing. Now, for this takeoff, we may or may not get the bug. That means that the ATR doesn't actually recognise a turnaround and a second takeoff. It's a little bit weird, but we'll see if we get it or not. I'm really not sure if we are going to get it, to be honest. But I've got an idea if we do. One little idea that may work around it to force the aeroplane to give us takeoff power once again. While they're boarding, we'll make sure that we've got our flight plan input. On VPilot it is. John says I'm on 3-4, here goes nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're starting to find space in the overhead locker above your seat for any larger wheelie suitcases, I would kindly ask that you please make your way towards the back of the aircraft, where the crew will help to find space in any of the open overhead lockers.
Thank you to everybody who has smashed the like button so far. 100 likes, really appreciate that. Crikey, they're slow, aren't they? Smoking on board is prohibited, as is the use of any electronic cigarettes. The lavatories are yeah, quite often a crosswind. Aaron, absolutely. There goes that cabin announcement with the Airbus PTU arcing away in the backdrop. Any large or portable electronic devices or laptop computers, however, must be powered down and stowed for taxi, takeoff and landing. And if your device does not have flight safe mode, it must be powered off and stowed for the duration of the flight. We are very pleased to see you on board. We do hope that you are comfortable and you will enjoy your flight with us. Boss note is the Luke Airtool, lukeairtool.net. Ian, yeah, I think it just thinks on model matching that we've got an engine running, so our props will be spinning regardless. Let's have a look at New Sky. That's what we're using to kind of track our flights with Osprey Airways. Aviation Fun asking, how did you come up with the name Osprey Airways? In a basically a vote for us all. So there's our initial outbound route. 9.41 was the final score. Slight revenue of 6622 for the profit for the airline today. Slight off-centre, oops, wrong button. Slight off-centre landing and an average touchdown. A little bit firm, a little bit off with the deviation there as well, but you can kind of see here all the different things that it tracks, which I really like. So our takeoff, light changes, gear retraction, all that sort of thing, engine state changes. Into descent, all the different modes. It says spoilers here. Interestingly enough, it seems to recognise spoilers going 0 to 100 every time you idle the throttle, which is interesting. Same again there, we idle the throttle, it shows spoiler deflections. A little bit strange. And then our touchdown. To be fair, bang on the touchdown zone there on the satellite overlay, look. Not bad at all, I'll take that. Disappointing that I've got a slight decrease in points being scored though. But that's our outbound flight. And we've got the logger ready for the next flight back to Bristol. So 70 passengers, a little bit of cargo, fuel's on board, and our waypoints are already input as well. We keep scrolling through all the NOTAMs. Maybe I've gone past it actually. Various different maps showing you like winds and significant weather reports that we may or may not face on routes within the flight plan on SimBrief. And then a little bit further up above all the NOTAMs. There it is, the weather. So it gives us the TAFs and the METARs. Nothing really kind of worrying. It just kind of shows 40% temporary visibility of 9,000 meters, broken cloud 800 feet, and then 8 PM tonight, moving to 300 meters visibility, wind, fog, and broken cloud at 0 feet. So we're not flying and operating at that time of the evening tonight, but that sounds pretty gnarly. We should find that we, at a push, at worst, have 9,000 meters visibility, 9 kilometers. Got to get these on. A few more minutes to push back. We're trying to work out how long this is going to take actually. So we're running GSX live to see how it all works. There's no ATC on BKG. Unknown, it's called GSX Pro. Yeah. Hakon says, why aren't you using the landing rate monitor? Because we've gone to basically New Sky, it offers us a career mode. So as a virtual airline, there's a financial or an economy model to it. Virtual economy, so every route operates profit or loss. There's a kind of like a what you call it, penalty system or a rating system that grades your flights based upon your accuracy of flying as well, and your smoothness of flying too. Willie, it's a popular jet. I keep saying jet as well, it's not even a jet, it's a popular prop aircraft. You know what, they're doing a not bad job, you know. Baggage being loaded fairly quick. It's we've got 5 minutes to push back. So I think we're going to be bang on time. Therefore, flick this across GSX, and we're going to prep for pushback and departure as well. Down here on the aircraft tabs, we can close the main doors initially. We'll leave the tail prop engaged at the moment. If it says icing AOA, aviation fun in the ATR, that's because down here, you've had icing on at some point. Even if you've turned the icing off, you then might need to make sure you've pressed that button, turn it off. Icing AOA mode basically increases the airspeed, automatic airspeed selection by about 5 or so knots. That will then push you to fly a little faster. Because if you've got ice on the wings, your aircraft is less aerodynamic. So you could also stall a lot easier. Let's press that in to clear the MDA, we don't need that. 142, is that actually... Yeah, so look, it doesn't recognise the turnaround. But rotate 113, B2 117. It's not going below 138, interestingly there. We might have the turnaround bug again, but it has been fixed. Clear of ice at 17,000 for RAB. Standby compass, by the way, does work. I mentioned it in the stream the other day. I mentioned it in the tutorial video that went live last night too, or maybe this morning, I forget. But that works. It's animated. It does rotate as well, so it's a nice little way. If you accidentally kill something in here and you lose the displays of the glass cockpit, flick that down and at least have a basic form of guidance in addition to your standby instruments there as well. And less than 2 hours to episode 4 of my ATR tutorial series as well. So just as we're landing into Bristol, we should have that go live too. I'm interested to see whether or not this aeroplane is going to recognise the fact that we are going to turn around or not. Even flicking that across doesn't kind of trigger anything either. How we do? Last couple of bags being loaded now, look at that. Dispatcher's getting impatient, keeps looking at his clipboard. Which of the anti-ice systems should be engaged with the ATR, Hergy says? Good question. Engine 1 and 2 if you want the engines de-iced, and then airframe de-ice needs to be on as well. If you find SATs are greater than, less than -20, then you can press that to go onto fast to kick the boots in. You can also choose anti-icing, where you have prop or rudder elevator left, aileron right elevator right there. So whatever you think is best based upon what you're doing, to be fair. Cargo doors still shown unlocked. And engine 1 bleed shown faults, that's fine. Baggage loading is done. Matthew, hello to you, buddy, welcome. Recognises the airport flown in a real good few times in real life.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, radio check.
Readability 5.
5. Readability 5 also, thanks.
Shannon traffic, Gemstone, by 4 Tango Foxtrot. Stam 30 ATR72-600, QNH 1014, push to start, facing south, Shannon. Okay, we'll see what happens with the FMS and things in a moment. It's all a little bit forked.
I'm
going to set 0 on MDA for now as well, just to see what it does. There we go, get rid of it. Jolly good. So we're probably going to have to take off using and climb using IAS mode. So for initial climb out, that is probably going to that is likely to be how we're going to manage the speed for this. Because otherwise it's a little bit messed up potentially. We've got 5,000 set. Beacon lights are on. We'll put the wing lights on for now as well. It's a bit of an ATR way of telling people that we are about to push back. We'll at least have engine 2 armed, but beacon lights are now on as well for pushback.
Shannon traffic,
yes.
383 at stand 41 is going to be pushing back and facing to the east.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear.
Okay, prop rotation number 2. We're going to go up here. Prop engine start back to start Alpha Bravo. Prop brake goes off. Ready, green. She begins to spin. in feather mode. And then condition lever to automatic. We release the gust lock for now as well, giving us the controls. Got a fair taxi as well ahead of us now.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we commence our safety demonstration, I would ask if you are wearing headphones, please remove them at this time. We will now draw your attention to the safety features on board this aircraft. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the flash metal end into the buckle to secure it around your...
Shannon traffic operators, Juliet Mike Stand 34 is pushing back. We'll be facing east.
So we're going to taxi on the apron Delta 1 down to hold point Delta 2, runway 24. The Avance is lukeairtool.net. It's freeware, so you guys can all download it and enjoy it as well for free. Gives you lots of different airline announcements and things.
For taxi, takeoff and landing, please take time now to locate the exit nearest you.
Please set parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
Flat 15, looking up here, we've got all the hydraulic systems. We've got no white lights at the moment either, which is good. That's what we want to see.
Traffic Osprey 569 and runway 24 for immediate departure.
There is a life jacket in a package under every seat, and if
Saren, hello. He's a real pilot. He's got to deal with the accents all around the world. Japan apparently is the hardest. Top brake is guarded and off. We'll wait till they're clear before we start to smash out the taxi lights and blind them. Juliet Charlie Mike, nice work, buddy. Nice route, going the long haul. Interestingly now, it's refreshed to 122, look. 122.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Nice, there we go, so it's actually recognising V2 plus 5. Okay, low pitch mode, engine 2, automatic, gust locks released, idle gate is ground, engine instruments displays look good, taxi lights on, and we're going to do some control surface checks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be dimming the cabin lights for takeoff and doing so again for landing, and this is part of our normal safety procedure. Cabin crew to your stations for cabin secure check.
Interesting. Selected Shannon 24, but I can see runway 06 there. I'm going to watch that like a hawk. Hot brake off. And taxiing on idle already. Shannon traffic, Gemstone, 5-4 Tango Foxtrot, taxi to hold point Delta 2, runway 24 via the apron and Delta. Shannon. Fuel pump 1 is on run at the moment and showing fault, so we can just taxi out on one engine again like before to be super efficient. Certainly because we've got a bit of a longer taxi on Shannon's airport apron today. It's a little bit more efficient for us to do it this way. You are a Shadowbox, good morning. Round we go, the Loganair's pushed. There's another Loganair as well. David says, one time I flew Birmingham to Glasgow. They didn't even start engine 1 until halfway through the taxi, saving every penny of fuel costs. Same with Loganair at Heathrow, you'll see them. I had one ATR taxi pass me the other day actually at Heathrow, while I was on the taxiway, and they had one engine 1 off all the way through to the hold point because they knew they would be in a queue for about 10 minutes, and the engine starts in about 20 seconds. So when they were number 2 or 3 in the queue, I forget which, they then fired up engine 1 as well. So we're just going to leave engine 1 off until we get nearer to those hangars all the way down there, because that's where the hold point is, all the way down there, that blue hangar. We'll turn engine 2 on. Azeros, I'm not sure, buddy. Make sure you're not on observer mode.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 2472, type ATR72-600, QNH1014 from stand 28, push and start facing southeast. I will wait until the company traffic and the A330 have passed.
A330?
Shannon traffic.
Jeez, A330? My god, there is one. That's huge. Hey, look at that. Osprey ATRs, Eastern still down, the 2 Logan Airs. Love it. Very exciting. Going uphill, so it's going to add a tiny little bit of power.
Runway 24 by Delta. Traffic.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 495, taxi to holding short 24 via Delta 2, Delta 1, Delta 3, Shannon traffic.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 27, Juliet Mike on the apron, taxi to Delta 2 via Delta for holding point, runway 24.
We've got a tiny little bit of right rudder in, just to try and hold that nose wheel along that centre line.
Shannon traffic, Steggy 383 is going to be taxiing to runway 24,
and still engine 1 is off, prop 1 is off.
We'll probably be going down the old cross runway.
Shannon traffic off 84 Whiskey after the A330 for right to Red Bull start and from stand 39 facing east.
And after the
a little bit more prop power, keep her rolling. If you stop with this, you will find that it's a bit difficult for you to try and get the aircraft rolling again on one engine, so you do need to try and just tickle the propeller every now and again on the right hand side. If you put in too much power though, as we mentioned, you end up veering off to the left, so it's a bit of a balancing act, to be fair. We'll start a poll as we taxi out though.
Osprey 84 Whiskey can make a long push for the A320.
There you go. So the poll's live for you to kind of have your say. I'm interested to know, all of you watching, what you think of the ATR so far. If you've got it yourself and you've been flying it this last couple of days now since the release of the World Update and the ATR to the marketplace as well. Boarding time, check your stream output. We're streaming out to you guys in 2K 60 frames per second, but your internet may or may not be able to handle that. So, and the device you're using or the browser you might be watching this on as well. So, do have a little look at what you've got going on your end as well. It might be the kind of cause. App display, a little bit wishy-washy and a bit weird there, isn't it? So, going to keep an eye on that. Doesn't like this departure. If you haven't flown the ATR yet, or you've just purchased it and you're scratching your head thinking, oh my god, there's so much to learn, then do check out my ATR tutorials that I've made specific to the Microsoft ATR in the sim. So some of its quirks, some of the bugs, how to work around it all, and everything you need to know to be able to fly from A to B without any issues. And in those tutorial videos, there's a checklist linked in the description for those that I've created for free, and it's part of a little ATR tutorial series as well. So hopefully you're all finding them all really useful. So long old taxi here, completely pointless us running the second engine. She looks great, look at that. Turboprop heaven right there. And there's a fourth Osprey and another Loganair behind over at the hangars still, the terminal building. So cool. The checklist is on flightsim.to. You can download it for free. Where are my charts? Okay, so we're coming up to the whole point now. It's there. So, start A and B, active, pump 1 is on, light sign, prop brake is off, start 1 engage. Look how quick this engine's going to start now, folks. System. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, through 16%. ITT's increasing, MP's good through 10, auto.
Shannon traffic, Osprey 2472 is taxiing to runway 24 via the apron.
Back to the nav display.
Holding point Delta 2. Shannon traffic.
I'm going to change the format there. Like so. And yeah, we'll keep the range as it is. Engines are on. Look at that. As quickly as we started the engine, it's ready to go already. So with that in mind, start A and B goes to off and abort. A bit sloppy there on the old taxiway. Trying to multitask. No white lights, that's all clear. Looking good. We're going to get the strobe lights on, landing lights on, lights and signs set as required, the ice set as required, flaps 15, just locks off. Takeoff configs green and OK, flap 15 for takeoff, speeds, FCP, nav data radios checked and set. Shannon traffic, Gemstone, 54 Tango Foxtrot, via Delta 2 lining up runway 24, taking off, Abagu 3 Bravo departure, Shannon. Power management mode is set to takeoff, and idle gate now set to flight.
Shannon traffic, Logan 51 Golf, holding point Delta 1.
Reset the chrono.
24. We'll line up after the front traffic departs.
Shoe Dog, that's good to hear, buddy. Saying it's a lot to learn, but tutorials are a great help. Jumped back into the 737 yesterday. It was like putting on a favourite sweatshirt. So comfortable. Yeah, I share the same thoughts, to be fair, with the 737. So I have to be careful now. We've got the engine set to idle gate to flight mode, that we don't let that speed run away from us. It's easily done in this. Nav display overlay above, weather terrain.
27 Juliet Mike, Shannon traffic is holding in turn behind the Beach 350. Shannon traffic.
TCAS auto, that's all set, that's all on. Happy days.
Is the A320 that came out of stand 39 ready
Let's
to
keep it rolling. About 30%. Notch.
Give it 2 seconds, buddy. I'll be there in a minute.
A little bit of left rudder needed here. Windsock's now shown a crosswind all the way across, look. On the left hand side as we went past.
Traffic.
So a little bit of stick into wind. Got to try and balance the aeroplane as it rotates now. A lot of work ahead of us. 100 knots.
Sorry about that.
V1. Rotate.
Shannon traffic, Logan 4 Tango Hotel, power push stand.
She's going. There we go, keeping her balanced all the way. Oi, very careful balancing act there. Positive rate, gear up. And we're going to have to crab into wind, maintain runway heading, fight that 12 knot crosswinds that we've now got ahead of us. 500 feet, we might as well manually fly this little bit. Why not? It'll be quite nice. Flight directors are properly booked, aren't they? I'm going to go nav mode.
Shannon traffic, Steggy 132.
Bring the pitch down.
And start.
Climb. Arm V nav. LNAV's active. And just as we roll wings level there, we can set yaw damper on, autopilot engaged, and the controls have been taken over by the computer. Flaps F, retract. Away they go, nice and quick for that retraction. Simon, I would say it's already worth an update, to be honest, buddy. It's really good fun. Beautiful aeroplane to fly. It's got quirks you've got to work around, but at the same time, we know that there are some very good...
Logan 51 Golf on lining up on runway 24, will depart in 1 minute.
Yeah, we know that we've got some very good updates coming soon for the aeroplane, so I've got good faith in the developer. Hands, of course, behind the weather standby. Let's get weather mode on again. Behind the CRJ, and he's very, very good at what he does. We didn't seem to get the turnaround bug that time. It actually accelerated and took off rather nicely, didn't it? In fairness to it. We pop the taxi and takeoff lights off, and then just climb away. Yeah, so there is one thing that I don't think can ever be solved until the sim has a big physical change in the way that it deals with prop aircraft. That is feather. I don't think any aircraft in the sim at the moment have any way to actually feather the propellers physically, which is a little bit of a shame. That's something I don't think that they can solve. So we're just going to have to hold on with that and see if maybe that'll be an update that will come soon in the sim. Simon, appreciate it. If you've got Premium Deluxe, then it will discount itself to about £10 if you're in the UK, Simon. For 10 quid, you're going to be quite impressed with this, I think. Robin, interestingly enough, it does have an EFB, albeit a very basic one. We'll have a look at that now, in fact. So, let's go to... It's holding 5,000 now, let's keep the climb going. We'll aim for 170 for our cruise.
Airborne on runway 24, passing 600 feet. Shut.
170, barrow set standards. First officer side as well, because they don't seem to be linking that well. David says, I thought they fixed feathering in Sim Update 10 or 11. They showed videos of it working in flight on the King Air. Interesting. Perhaps that was just the model of that. I'm not certain. This looks as though when you feather it, it kind of goes to a very fine pitch rather than physically feathered. If that makes sense. Let's increase the nav display so we can get a bit more range on our map. It's looking good. Happy days. Climbing away. And I'm going to be cheap and I'm going to turn the landing lights off to save the bulbs already. Yeah, there's the EFB. There's no SimBrief integration, Tom, but typically, as I've mentioned in my tutorial videos, these aircraft operate primarily very, very short flights, and therefore There goes the dog saying hello to you all again. Therefore you don't need to worry about SimBrief integration. It takes simply 5 minutes to program your route.
Shannon traffic of 395, taking off 24 on the Baku 3 Bravo structure.
Shannon traffic operators, Juliet Mike entering runway 24 Delta 1, lining up runway 24 Shannon traffic.
One thing that I'd probably like to see with this is maybe the sounds improved a tad bit, you know, increased in volume a bit. We want to hear the roar of those props. Certainly outside, you'd like it to be a little bit louder. It's a bit of feedback that we've seen a lot actually over the last couple of days from people. Simon, sounds like a match made in heaven for you then. Do check out the tutorial videos that I've done to help you kind of kickstart your experience of the ATR. And download my checklist as well, which you can have for free. That wheel, it's Flow Pro by Parallel 42. Commander Shadow, hello. VNAV does not work still. It's really unreliable and really quite messy. So I still say avoid VNAV. On the climb out though, it works very nicely. It's just on descent, it just seems to botch everything and make a little bit of a mess of it all, which is a shame. So for climb out, as we had out of Shannon just then, we climbed out using VNAV and it leveled off at 5,000 fairly nicely. Living the dream, yeah, so you can input the SimBrief flight plan into the MCDU, but you're using a bit of a trick to do that. And you can have, so when you plan a flight plan on SimBrief, you can click on the flight plan downloads section. As MPS Gaming is saying there, you can download the Aerosoft CRJ flight plan file and then put that into the work map for the ATR. But more often than not, it goes a bit wrong, bugs out, and it doesn't actually import the destination airport, which then causes more problems in itself. So for the sake of, as we had on our turnaround today, only a couple of waypoints. We had the SID, 2 waypoints, and then the star. It took 5 minutes to input. We don't need SimBrief integration. I know there's a huge reliance on SimBrief integration these days. And I know it's a little bit more efficient to do it that way, but at the same time, you genuinely don't need it. Aviation Fun, I don't know. It might be a keybind that you may have triggered though. Commander Sage, hello. Your videos are very helpful, good to hear. How did you get the top bar showing the flight? So as I've mentioned before, I can't see that. That is a Volanta stream overlay that only you guys watching, wherever you are in the world, can see. I don't see any of that, sadly. Commander Shadow, does it show top of descent? It does, but again, it's very unreliable, and actually it's about 10 to 20 nautical miles too late sometimes. So I tend not to trust it at all.
And I spoke to 7 Juliet Mike passing 3,000 feet on the Abingdon.
And you remember, this is a regional hopper, so the routes are short, and it's part of the enjoyment of and the uniqueness of the aeroplane that you only have these short punchy routes. I did one yesterday offline as a bit of a zip about when I was trying to test things like holds and things like that, and my route literally consisted of the SID, 1 waypoint, and then the star. And the flight itself still took about an hour. So it really doesn't take that much time at all to configure the SimBrief flight plan. You saw how quick it was in Shannon when we did that turnaround. I think it took 5 minutes, and then we were just kind of sat, relaxing, enjoying the turnaround, whilst waiting for GSX to load the passengers and the cargo and get prepped for departure. Nice and easy. It's all part of this ATR, wider ATR experience. wonder if there's any Easter eggs that we've not actually found yet. E, welcome on board. They all work. Ooh, flaps. Not going to touch that. That works. Hear it? Very nice. Okay, 1,000 below cruise. We're only just at Abagu now, which is the transition out of the departure out of Shannon. So throttles are still in notch, they've stayed there since the start of our takeoff. Yeah, David, that's it. And Steve, suddenly panicking. Where is the emergency gear extension lever? Gotta be here somewhere. I'm curious now. Where be ye? Is it even modelled? Smoke goggles. We don't need those today. Gravity extension. Got to be captain's side, right? Yeah, you can click the mics. That's a good shout. Hide them. Bingo. Keegan, with the ATL checklist, is there a guide on how to install it? It's just a PDR, so a PDF manual basically. Set power to cruise. So you just open it in whatever you use for your PDFs, whether that be Adobe or whatever else, Google Document Viewer. Oh yeah, the armrests are animated too, both sides. Oh look, little crash axe down there, complete with leather sleeve. Circuit breakers, cockpit door locking system, push and high voltage. Gotta be here somewhere, right? Jump seat's not animated, but that's fine. Not something that needs to be animated. Billy, hello. We are just at cruise now, en route back to Bristol. Let's prep for our arrival as well, because again these are fairly short in length. So only just now at Abagu, 47 miles away from Shannon. Look how long it took for us to actually achieve that. But we are at the transition into cruise now anyway. Robson, hello, developer behind New Sky. It never imports destinations in flight plan view, but can work around it by clicking on the last waypoint and it gives you the arrivals field. So as we discussed, as we arrive at Bristol via Badger, for the Badger 1 Bravo arrival, we're going to be heading over Brecon, then descending down. We want to be at Bristol's NDB, overflying the airfield at 3,000 feet. So really important there. Max 185 knots below flight level 70. Again, fairly easy to achieve that in this aeroplane in fairness. It's low and slow. Then we're going to overfly the airfield. Outbound 097 degrees, because we're a category B aircraft. And then turning back on ourselves, course of 267 inbound for the ILS. So we have to tune the Bristol NDB, because we're overflying that. And then the ILS frequency 110.15, and the inbound course of 267 needs to be cross-checked too. Actually, what is in the live chat? I've put the METAR command, so we'll see the live METAR. There we go. All the 9s, broken cloud 1100, broken 3200, 260 at 14. So
sorry, this is Takeoff for Shannon traffic. That Osprey that departed ahead of us didn't give you a
we'll stick with just a hand-flown kind of ILS approach, or Category 1 ILS procedure, as opposed to Cat 2. So we're going to do MDA again. 801. So I'm actually going to set 810 because it's only for the sake of 1 feet, but we'll round up, not down. We'll stay good and disciplined with that. And Bristol has got a very wavy runway, bit of a bumpy runway. So if we hit the little bit that dips up, it's like a bit of a ski ramp, so it can shoot us back up into the sky if we hit that wrong. And it's around the halfway point between Bravo and Hotel. Actually, yeah, kind of a bit around where Hotel is. The runway starts to go back up again, elevation-wise, before then dipping back down again. It waves up and down, all the way down the runway. Very bumpy. We might be able to vacate Foxtrot X-ray here, though. In any case, though, without any prop being used for a reverse, we're just going to roll all the way down to the end and then taxi in. Should be, touch wood, fairly simple. So let's get some of this data tuned. MDA is set on both sides. We're going to scroll the wheel up to 810. Happy birthday, Commander Sage. Turned 75 today. Congratulations and happy birthday to you. Thanks for joining in on a fairly special occasion. How's the visibility at Bristol, Ashton? There's a bit of a weird bug. Kinda hasn't recognised the fact that we've gone into cruise. It's fine. We don't need that speed bug anyway. We're hand flying the throttle, aren't we? We're hand managing the throttle. Right, where were we? So minimums are set. VORs. So 11015. 11015. Enter. 11015. Enter. Might as well switch those across now anyway, just be lazy with it. It's going to be something we need to tune in anyway very soon, and we'll tune 414 for the just wrong button. 414, and that's already got the Bristol one set to ADF2 as well. Happy days. We'll clear that one. We easily mistaken that. NGEX add are the only two waypoints that we manually added. And then we're in the star. So that's what we mean about we don't need sim brief importation in an ATR because the routes are so short, just don't need it. It's super weird that it's not really recognised cruise. But hey ho. She flies. Yeah, flight level 170. Definitely because the QNH now is not it's not 1013 anymore. 1014 for the QNH. 1014. We'll set 7000 for the transition altitude. Oh, hold on. That's why. It still locked itself to the approach speeds. So when we get a bit closer, we'll make sure that's reactivated. There you go, they're the only waypoints. Look, Abagoot, NGEX, ADHAV, AGCAT, and then the star. So it's literally, those three waypoints are in between the SID and the star. You don't need sim brief for that. Takes all of Not even 60 seconds to add those 3 in, to be fair as well. So we're going to go no reverse again. And runway conditions dry. Just below maximum landing weight at the moment. Little magenta crosshair. Jets are above us once again. Zooming towards Bristol, much faster and higher than we are. When do we expect to be close to the approach at Bristol? Probably in about 25 minutes. We'll be flying directly over the airfield before then heading outbound. For the first time actually flying the procedural turn to the ILS for a category A and B aircraft, in fact. Much tighter, much narrower. And we're going to see how the ATR handles it too. Loads of liveries. Somebody asked a moment ago if there are many liveries available for the ATR72. Same with the ATR42 as well. There are a lot of liveries already now available on flightsim.to for everybody to download and enjoy, providing you're on PC. Otherwise, sadly, nothing yet. That's a very cool little aeroplane. Tudor, absolutely. There are already, for those of you in Osprey Airways, as some of our pilots in our virtual airline, there are 2 ATRs in the fleet, one based at Manchester and this one based in Bristol, which we are flying back. Somebody else actually is flying back on our behalf with the scheduled service. And it'll open up a couple of domestic hops: Dublin, Shannon, Manchester, Edinburgh, East Midlands, a few little hops around the UK with this little aeroplane. And it's very economical on these shorter routes, which is why these regional operators have got them. As David said in the chat earlier on when we got to Shannon, there's a huge difference between the profit margins from the 737s that flew the route and the A320s that flew the route, but also the ATR. There's a couple of, it was almost double the profit, I think it was, wasn't it? Aaron, it's available on flightsim.to. I haven't put it on the website yet, but actually, you know what? Let's see if I can do that whilst we're live. Bear with me. Do a bit of super multitasking. It's got its own custom cabin, and we've changed the carpet colour to our beautiful royal blue that we have for things like text fonts and all that sort of thing as well within the fleet. MSFS liveries, here we go. Osprey Regional ATR72-600, painted by Tapsy. Almost there. It'll be on the website imminently. I just need to add an image of it. It won't take long. Just got to find a capture. How are we doing on the routes? NJEX, 11 miles. publish. Right, in about 5 minutes it'll be on the website. There you go. Ian says he's put a shot of the interior on Volanta. Very nice. Let me bring that up. I'll put that other screenshot on for our route today. Ian's behind, isn't he, somewhere? Thunder. Turbo Stig. There you go, there's the custom cabin inside the Osprey ATR. Might try and get those seats to go a little bit more of a darker blue if we can. And that's the outside. Stunning. It's the perfect livery for the ATR, I think. Keeping with the regional theme. It's publishing, it says, but it's just got the spinning wheel at the moment. Right, again, so in lieu of VNAV being reliable, we need to kind of try and work out roughly our top of descent. And you know what we've not used for a little while? Descent.now.sh. Let's punch in the data, see what it gives us. 3000, start speed 230, end speed 180, winds plus 24. So it says we need 52 nautical miles, vertical speed of 1,200 feet per minute. So that's easy. Roughly where AGCAT is, when we see BRS, that's our top of descent. Mad Rabbit, welcome buddy. What are the things that you wish to see changed on the ATR? Great question. So I've already spoke to Hans, the developer behind this, and I've offered my thoughts. But I've also had good discussions about some of the bugs that are in place as well. That we've actually, some of them we've been able to identify ourselves from Lime streams, and we've had good discussions. So VNAV descent, for climb it seems to be quite nice, but for descent it's just a train wreck. That apparently has been fixed, which is nice. It cannot fly automated holds at all. That's a huge issue, but again, holds have been fixed in an update that is coming soon, so really good hopeful improvements for the aeroplane that are coming imminently. There you go, the Osprey regional livery, at least for now as a bit of a placeholder, is on the website. David, welcome on board, thanks for subscribing. Beyond that, I'm not really sure what else I'd like to kind of see as important, necessary tweaks. Sounds maybe be a little bit louder, a bit more punchier. Cabin lighting, as Hergy said as well, is very bright, so it does make the seats a lot more bluer than they probably should be, because those lights are super bright. But otherwise, I mean, even this is quite nice. Look, yeah, there's their thought. Seatbelt signs are off. It's not animated. There goes one of the guys rocketing past. Aaron's over Germany in a 738 for Osprey. I mean, that's pretty loose. Germany's a huge country. Got to try and find you. Look, I mean, all of that is Germany. Yeah, don't even know where you are in that mass of people. A couple of ATRs zipping around on there though that we've just spotted. Alberta, yeah, it's apart from Takeoff, where it's a little bit more of a hum and a drum and a bit more of a roar. Yeah, because you're a little bit further away, those engines do seem quite quiet in the front of an A320. Osprey 137 over the UK now. Okay. Whereabouts over the UK? Ah, found you. You're near Sheffield. Nice. Positioning back one of our 737-800s. Great screen grabs. That's cool. Birmingham? No. Oh, I don't know what airport that is actually. Oh, it's going to be over there, isn't it? Could have been Cologne. That's cheating because I'm looking at your route. Okay, over the Welsh coast now, almost. There we go. Very nice. Hanschberger, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. David as well, enjoying seeing Shannon featured. Good to hear. If you've not voted in the poll yet, I'm interested to hear what you think of the ATR2, so fire into the live chat, you'll see the poll, 3 options. If you've got the new MSFS ATR that we're flying today, what are your thoughts so far? 129 votes so far, which is great to see. A lot of people saying they love it, 58% saying they love it at the moment, 37% saying that it's nice but they want to see improvements to it, 5% interestingly saying that they're not enjoying it. So if that's one, you know, if that's one of you saying you're not really enjoying it all that much, what is the thing that is kind of triggering it for you? What's ruining it for you? Do let us know as well. I'm interested to hear. Oh, another bug that I want to see fixed is the power output on takeoff for a turnaround. It does bug out sometimes. So if you saw the stream from Chios the other day, flew Thessaloniki to Chios, and then a departure from Chios back to Athens. We had a takeoff there where the engines didn't return back to proper performance after our landing. But again, that is something else that has been found thanks to our live stream. When it happened live, Hans has been able to actually then find the bug and squash it. So there's a really nice update coming soon for this, I think. Same with the behaviour of inputting waypoints and the route strings into the MCDU. Again, that has been fixed. Mad Rabbit says, great to hear changes are coming. I have this one bug with the lights that bug out immediately after loading in. Taxi and landing lights are permanently on and can't be turned off. That's weird. Yeah, I've not heard of that issue before. I'd probably maybe try and uninstall it from the content manager and reinstall it fresh again, just to see if maybe one of the files has got a bit broken during the installation, causing that problem. That might be a way to kind of tackle that. At Pegs there, we've got to be really careful. I jest, of course, with my dry humour. We've got to be below 250 knots. BNE is 250, so we can write that one off. We're not going to achieve 250 knots in this. No SimBrief integration, Simon. I'm not too bothered about it either, to be honest. It's not something that I would really care to see in this. Yeah, it'd be nice to have, but like we've said a couple of times now already today, today's route had the SID, followed by 3 waypoints, and then the star. We don't need SimBrief integration for that. Oh, there you go. Mad Rabbit. Shoe Dog said he had the light issues as well. It was a rogue keybind. Thanks for sharing that, Shoe Dog. Hopefully that helps you, Mad Rabbit. Is the ATR hard to learn, Jan is asking. Not particularly, no. If you're good with the CRJ and you're confident with the CRJ, throttles is kind of the main bit with this, really. So if you can master that, that's most of the battle. And power management, things like that, really. at the moment, some of the learning process involves trying to work around some of the bugs that it currently has, which is fine. I've discussed them all in the tutorials series that I've got so far. On the channel, on the playlists tab, you'll find all of my tutorials for various aircraft, including the new ones for the ATR series. Episode 4, if you are just tuning in, I'm going to tackle a question called ramp or notch. And it's a short 4, 5, 6 minute video that is literally just going to smash out an answer as to when you use either or ramp or notch. Once some of the other bugs get squashed as well, then I'll be tackling other things too, like VNAV, descent and climb, VNAV modes, and also automated holds. But currently it can't do automated holds. But again, that's another bug that's been fixed in a coming update. Whenever Microsoft can kind of package it and get it processed. They've already got the update package, but Microsoft take their jolly old time with it all. Holds are in, Jeff, and they actually do kind of half go into the FMS as well, but it draws a bit of a weird hold, and then regardless of what you do, it just flies off in a random direction, and usually left. So even if you have a right turn hold, when you hit your fix to enter the hold, it'll then just zoom off left and it will just do something entirely random, so it just doesn't work, full stop, currently. But again, it's a feature that's been fixed, it is coming in another update. So holds, we can enter a hold here, this is where we'd enter it all, but yeah, it's totally balked at the minute. Even if we turn that to a right hand hold, it would still do a left hand hold and things like that. Let's clear the temporary flight plan, let's continue. Bristol coming up, 60 nautical miles roughly. I just sent a snapshot of our poll so far, showing 59-60% loving it, 36-37% saying that it's nice but want to see improvements. I sent it to Hans to say, look, here's a little dip sample. Loads of people loving it, and he said, tell everybody I'm with the 36%. So he's also saying it's nice but wants to see improvements. So you know, it shows you guys that he does care a lot about it, and he wants to get it right. There's a lot of effort, a lot of care and attention going into fixing some of the bugs that we know are present. And I'm excited to see when this update does release, how different it's going to react and behave and fly. There you go, from Hans himself. He's with the 36% of you saying that they want to see improvements but are enjoying it otherwise. I'm probably in between nice but want to see improvements and love it. I love it, but I want to see improvements, if that makes sense. Right, 60 miles, let's go down to 3.5. Flight level 3.5 is set. Absolutely, yeah, Hans is a fair bloke. He developed the Twin Otter and the CRJ as well, so yeah, with that in mind, you know the guy can squash bugs and he can make some fantastic products. What was descent now telling us? It was 1200 foot per minute, wasn't it? So we're going to adjust the throttle slightly, bring it down a bit, out of notch, and we're going to get the nose down. AJ, hello. I bought it, haven't even loaded into it yet. Too busy with some other stuff. But the good news is, wink wink, some YouTubers seem to be releasing guides, so when I do fly I'll know what to do. Good to hear. Simon saying it's reassuring to have an immediate response from the developer himself. Would descend around 230-ish knots like this. So our throttle position at the moment is around there. So we've taken it out of notch. We're in the green zone now. Actually, we can bring it back a little bit more. So every time I fiddle with the throttles, you'll see man selected there. So if I just zoom out a little bit, there we are. You can see me wiggling the throttles. Yeah, the glass cockpits have got too much reflection. That's a good shout, actually. That's been commented on a few times as well. I think might have been mentioned in the forums too. The only thing I can say is if you notice a bug with this, go to the MSFS forums and see if you've got anything similar to what's already been mentioned. If you find something that you want to report that is already mentioned, ping it, bump it up as a thread. And so, you know, that way it will say, I've got a similar problem. John's accidentally shut down engine 1. If you're in the ATR, the good news is it will turn back on in about 20 seconds if you get it started again. Nice and easy. There's an aeroplane going the opposite direction, look. On the VATSIM network. Yeah, I've got a history of shutting down engine 1, mainly with Mad Dogs and MD-80s. Get the power management back to takeoff mode. Oh, there's nothing about hurrying in an ATR MPS. These things are slow. Brakes off, power management, takeoff. We're going to pop the seatbelt signs on now, and we'll get the hunters in the back strapped in. That's the end of the pole. John, good effort. It's a forgiving aeroplane, isn't it? So look at that, the top of descent marker is after Brecon. If we were to follow that, we'll end up too high and descending too late. Having said that though, look at that. All the wind farms over the Brecon Beacons in Wales. Epic. Speed still holding nicely.
Bristol traffic of 495, entering Delta 1 Bravo Rifle, leaving flight level 230 for flight level 180. Bristol traffic.
So go around speed 127 knots, approach speed 113. I'm going to go to the perf page. I'm going to activate approach speed now, just so that auto speed management pings down to 170 again. Will we have ATC for the arrival? Sadly no, I think it looks like we're on Unicom still. Yeah, we'll be on Unicom for the remainder. That's fine though. Aaron, nice. Might be waiting a little while. Took me a year. So what else have we got here? Destination weather's obtained, radio set, wing engine anti-ice as required, as fine as it is at the moment. FCP set as required. Landing elevation is on automatic still. Minimums are set. Approach and missed approach are both brief. We've chatted about those. Below 10,000 feet, so that's coming up now. Landing lights on. Seatbelt signs are already on. And then below transition altitude, set the local QNH, which is 1014, I think. We'll refresh it in the live chat for you guys. So the METAR goes in. And I'll throw the TAF in there as well, so you can see later on through the day what the weather at Bristol is expected to change to in the forecast. There you go. Passing the Brecon waypoint now. Bristol traffic, Gemstone, 54 Tango Foxtrot, ATR 72-600 inbound Bristol on the Badger 1 Bravo arrival. ILS 27 expected, QNH 1014 will report overhead the field, Gemstone, 54 Tango Foxtrot, Bristol. Lights, check the signs. Shoe Dog, nice. Yeah, get a 4K monitor, it's going to blow your mind. I run the sim now on 4K with a 4K screen with my new rig, which is an absolute monster of a computer now with an RTX4090, and I'm able to run the sim with maximum graphics, 60 frames per second in 4K at most places, including AnyBuild's JFK, which is just incredible. And that's with DirectX 12, frame generation on, and TAA for the anti-aliasing mode. Don't bother with DLSS 3, you don't need it. Murphy Tidfall down there somewhere. 20 miles. See, look at that, the VNAV's going absolutely mad at us, because it says we need to be higher than we are, even though we're not meant to be. So that would have us quite happily at 7,000 over Bristol, I think. One 11015, they're both set, that's good. We're going to bring the range ring in a bit, twice, 2 clicks to 10 miles. Resync the heading mode, we're going to go to heading mode in a moment as well. And we are
I think what he's trying to say is there's a lot of clouds
heading
here,
direct towards Bristol.
Brecon NDB, still in training, sorry.
With the traffic up 84 Whiskey just off Bristol sending flat level 130 for 8,000, and we're going to score 200 for the ATI income.
Yeah, Cribs Causeway. To be fair, currently we are crossing Newport, so this here is Newport. QNH 1014, wasn't it? 1014. Yeah, the checklist is available for the ATR. You can download it for free. That one's proper got stuck on standard pressure. They're supposed to be linked, that's the weird thing. Oh well. Rab says, loving the ATR Osprey livery, that's good to hear as well. Really nice to hear. It's a beautiful bit of work, isn't it? Newport below. Sending rapidly towards Bristol now. Living the dream, wow, good effort, that's mega work, good job. And the good thing is as well, we're now taking a lot of punters back towards Bristol. So for those of you operating the scheduled services from here, for Osprey Airways, more passengers are available for you to fly. 5,000. Noah, have a look at the channel. There's an ATR playlist that I've created. Channel in the channel, it's episode 1, 2, and 3 so far. In 38 minutes from now, there's going to be an episode 4 go live as well, and it will cover everything you need to know to get started with the ATR. There are links in those descriptions for the videos as well on those tutorials that will take you to my free checklist that I've created. Right then, having a look at the overhead panel. No white lights, sizing set as required. Lights and signs are all set as required as well. And that's all set as well. We're going to go to heading mode, resync. Heading mode activated, V and ILS mode selected, and the course is shown incorrect again. Look, 237, so we need to spin the wheel at 267. Really important, otherwise it will not fly the ILS properly. Check ILS 2, that matches 267. 1 and 2 both good, and we're going to set V ILS 1 to initiate the approach. 21 knot tailwind, slightly variable, pushing us towards the airport now. Oh, tower's online. Crikey, 13385. First time we've got ATC with the ATR now. Information Golf. Runway News 27. Good, through 180, that's what we want. And we're going to bring that nav ring in again. Make sure nav's ready. Into a little bit of cloud. And we're going to pause the music for now as well, because we've got controllers on as well. Pressure's just gone up a notch for me. Bristol Tower, good afternoon. Gemstone 54 Tango Foxtrot with information Golf ATR72-600 over the field for the procedural ILS 24.
Gemstone 54 Tango Foxtrot Bristol Tower, good afternoon, and report established ILS runway 27.
Walko, Gemstone 54 Tango Foxtrot. Okay, turning 097.
Bristol Tower, good afternoon, off 84 Whiskey with you, 80,000. Do you want me to do slight deviation for the traffic in front?
Station calling to call sign?
25, vertical speed mode. Back down, managing the speed.
Bristol Tower, good afternoon. Traffic information, you've got a Logan Air ATR72 approximately 2 miles ahead at your 12 o'clock. I can't advise you to separate because it's outside of my jurisdiction, but I recommend if you just keep your speed down, it should be fine.
Okay, no worries, we'll keep our speed, then we're doing the 170 knots indicated, and we have the Logan on speed.
So I reckon we want heading of 092 to give us a track of 097 roughly. Otherwise we're going to drift.
Station calling static only.
Bristol Tower, hello, Logan 5100 Golf, just turning above Bristol VOR, turning the downwind for runway 27.
Logan 51 Golf, Bristol Tower, good afternoon. Traffic information, you've got an Aer Lingus ATR, approximately your 1 o'clock range, 3 miles, currently doing a procedure.
Well, go, we have the traffic inside Logan 51 Golf.
Logan 51 Golf, thank you. Report established ILS runway 27.
Well, go, report when established ILS 27.
So this is the old
Logan
heading
51.
versus track. We're actually travelling in that direction, but the nose is pointing in that direction. Trying to keep the speed up here. Maximum speed of 185-ish. Yeah, max 185. So I'm kind of trying to
Bristol
hold
Tower,
that, but
radio check.
the wind is so
Station calling
wild at the moment that we're unable
Bristol
to
Tower,
actually
this is Seki 1331. We
kind of
are
tackle
a
that.
Type A320. I
Come
know
left
there's
a bit
lot
more,
of smaller planes in front of
085.
us. I see 3 of them. Can you confirm, are we just number 4 for landing?
Stage 1321,
7.5, waiting for 8.
Number 4 for
At 8 we're going to begin the turn.
You've got 737-800, approximately your 1 o'clock range of about 7 miles. Correction,
8 miles, round we go. Don't know where the flight plan is sending us over there, but it's well off.
Stage 13131, just for your information, the traffic
Speed's
ahead
good.
is indicating a ground speed of 200 knots.
Okay, we will slow down so we don't overtake. Thank you, Bristol Tower.
Roger, stage 1331, report established ILS runway 27.
62728.
We will report when established.
297 for 30 degrees. Keep the turn. 180 is good on the speeds. Range ring set 2.5. Missed approach is brief 3000. Climb straight ahead as directed. UNH is set. Takeoff mode is set. Lights and signs.
Osprey 495. Flight level
Approach mode active.
090.
Locks on and active. Turning.
Momentarily about to overfly the airport. Expecting ILS 27. Should make.
So we want to go down to 160 now till 4 DME. Rav, no worries, buddy. Have a good one.
Osprey 495, Bristol Tower, good afternoon. Tracking information is an A320 Neo, approximately your 11 o'clock, range of 4.5 miles. Report established ILS runway 27.
Full report established ILS 27, Osprey 495.
Gemstone 54 Tango Foxtrot, speed 160 knots or greater until 4 DME.
We'll go 160 till 4 DME or greater, and currently now established 7 miles ILS.
Gemstone 54 Tango Foxtrot, thank you. The surface wind 270 degrees, 13 knots, runway 27, clear to land.
Runway 27, clear to land, Gemstone 54 Tango Foxtrot. So again, like with most ILS approaches and approaches into airfields.
Foxtrot, traffic information, Airbus A320 Neo, approximately your 10 o'clock, range of 3 miles, indicating 4,000 feet.
Roger, visual 54 Tango Foxtrot. Get down. Yeah, that is very bumpy. 5 miles. Hopefully whoever that is, they configure early and keep their speed down. So 3000 is set, heading mode is set, glide slope's good, 160 till 4. We're coming up to 4 miles now. We can't extend to flap 30
384 whiskey speed
until
160 knots or greater, maintain until 4 DME.
Until we achieve 150 knots or less, which is what I'm now slowing down to. So we're now descending on idle with very little.
384 whiskey, thank you. Continue approach runway 27, your number 2. Traffic information is a company King Air
150.
Approximately your 10 o'clock,
Flap
range of
30.
3 miles, indicating 4,008. Correction, 4,300 feet.
Yeah, we got the traffic number 2 off, so 84 whiskey.
Okay, 51 Golf.
20 knot headwind at the moment now, a very slight crosswind for us. It shows 2 knots crosswind, 13 knot headwind.
Logan 5 on Golf, thank you. Reduce your speed now, 160 knots until 4 DME. Continue approach runway 27.
Reduce speed 160 until 4 DME. Logan 5, 1 Golf.
My controls. Already the wind is proving a bit of a challenge. So actually, because the wind is quite variable, it
information, you've got a Logan Air ATR72
goes from about 25 knots headwind to a 13 knots headwind. I'm actually flying the approach a little bit quicker. I've added an extra 5 knots to our approach speed. So we don't end up having that speed drop off, flying then too slowly for the approach. If that headwind goes from 20 odd knots to say 10, the airspeed will then change by just as much. We could end up flying too slow and risk stall. If we then get any master cautions or warnings...
Identified, avoiding action, turn left heading 180 degrees.
Left 180, Osprey 495.
500.
Yeah, see, this is the thing with these. You've got to bear in mind on VATSIM, you've got to keep the speed up,
Approaching minimum.
which feels very unnatural in this because of the bigger airliners flying a lot faster behind you, closing that gap all the time.
Minimum. 200. Minimum.
Osprey 495, climb to altitude 4,000 feet.
Climb to 4,000, Osprey 495.
100.
Speed's running a little bit there, so I'm just going to idle early.
50.
Look into the end.
40. 30. 20.
Holding the flare. Holding it, holding it, holding it.
10.
Letting it sink. And I'm going to get reverse prop active to try and help everybody out with vacating nice and quick. Maybe at Foxtrot if we can. 50 knots.
Osprey 495, turn left now, heading of, correction, turn left heading 090 degrees, that's your downwind leg.
Left 090, Osprey 495.
Osprey 84 Whiskey, clear to land, runway 27, surface wind 270 degrees on 3 knots.
Clear to land 27, Osprey 84 Whiskey.
Gentlemen, 54 Tango Foxtrot, welcome to Bristol, taxi stand 3.
Taxi stand 3, Gemstone 54 Tango Foxtrot, thanks.
And Osprey 495, call me, stop to left 27.
So over the hold, we're going to put taxi lights off, strobe lights off.
Bristol Tower, this is Osprey 27,
Wing
Mike
lights,
approaching the
that's
BRI
there,
on
so let's
the
go to
NDB
ground.
locked in me runway 27.
Condition lever 1 to feather.
Mike, Bristol Tower, good afternoon, report established left from
And on the left you can see our touchdown there, right on the centre line actually, look. Just after,
Osprey 27, Juliet Mike, can you
that's
repeat
quite
the
nice,
message,
I like
please?
that.
Osprey 27, Juliet Mike, report established ILS 27.
We'll report established Osprey 27, Juliet Mike.
Laps are up.
And Bristol Tower, this is Peggy 1321. We are 5 miles from
And stand 3,
Foxtrot
wasn't it?
27.
Got to find stand 3 now.
Stage 1331, thank you, continue approach runway 27, U number 2.
Oh lovely, it's right at the front. Prime spot. So we're going to go traffic, we're going to set none now.
51 Golf, fully established.
Surveillance,
and, at minimum
standby.
3 DM.
5 Golf, thank you, traffic is just vacated.
TCAS standby.
Open 5 Golf, clear to land runway 27.
Do you think the reverse is a little too strong, Harry says? Maybe a little bit, but at the same time you've got to bear in mind this is designed to operate in very short fields, so you'd use the reverse thrust specifically to rapidly decelerate. He got very well there, look at that, good work.
Bristol Tower, Steggy 383 is taking a current heading of 120 and we're going to make a left-hand turn for the base for the ILS runway 27
And
we'll
fuel
be
shut off
falling in sequence
for
behind
engine
Osprey
1.
495.
Keep the speed up though.
383, Roger, just try and keep the distance with the...
And uphill a little bit, we're just going to add a bit of throttle.
Yep, no worries at all. We'll, well, traffic's in sight, so we'll just make sure there's enough distance between us. Thanks.
Roger, report established ILS 27.
Okay.
On our website, aerlingus.com. We do look forward to welcoming you on board in the very near future.
The decreased throttle is what I tend to use for most aircraft, Hergy, to be honest. Let's see the prop now, it should be feathered. There you go. It looks like a finer pitch. Well, you know what, I'd probably say that is feathered actually, to be fair. Look at that. Here's the Logan Air.
All stations DQNH 1015.
Nicely done. Oh, that's what happens now with the throttle. Damn it. So actually, we're going to have to pop engine 1 back on. Unreal.
Osprey 495, established ILS to 7.
Osprey 495, thank you. Continue approach runway 27, you are number 2.
Continue approach Osprey 495.
Bristol Tower, Steggy 1321 is established on the localizer.
Yeah, they do look actually quite right, to be honest. It's, you know, somebody was overly criticising the other day, and it made me doubly look at it.
27 speed 160 knots or greater until 4 DME.
160 or greater until 4 DME for Steggy 1321.
Right.
Local 5 on Golf, welcome to Bristol, taxi stand 25.
This little hill here in the middle that the aeroplanes just really struggle to get around, so we'll refeather now, engine 1. Like I said at the start, you've got to make sure that you don't trigger brakes to come to a stop with one engine running, because otherwise you'll get stuck and you'll then have to run the other engine as well. Good news here is we're turning left, so even if we do kill the engine now and accidentally stop, it doesn't matter, because we'll have power to turn left anyway. Let's park.
Stage 1301, surface wind is 270 degrees, 13 knots, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land, Steggy 1321.
I'll do brakes, set. Engine 2, condition lever, let's put the gust lock on. Idle, condition lever, feather. Prop brakes ready, green, engaged. Clear the master caution. In the aircraft maintenance area we can go to chocks on, tail prop, main door, cargo. Yes, there we go. Gangnam style, smashed it. Oh, the weirdness of GSX. Prop brakes blue, good. And then we can disembark the passengers. We'll leave hotel mode on, why not? Requested boarding. I got a 10. On New Sky, happy days. Little bit of profit for the airline as well. 4,000 quid. There's the procedural turn that we did.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Fighting that tailwind a little bit as well, so we just recorrected and then we came back for the ILS approach. Happy days, liking that. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Drone camera, just whack that up because we've got a few landing.
Juliet Mike established runway 27.
That's a plane, quite A320.
Continue approach Osprey 27 Juliet Mike.
And Osprey 27 Juliet Mike reduced to minimum approach speed.
Minimum approach
Egan, it's
speed
GSX.
Juliet Mike.
That's a great little touchdown there.
Very good afternoon, Osprey 2472 with you with Information Hotel, inbound to Bristol.
Osprey 2472, Bristol Tower, good afternoon, report established ILS runway 27.
We're reported when established on runway 27 for Osprey 2472.
And we're going to disembark the punters.
Osprey 495, expect net landing clearance, the wind is 260 degrees, 13 knots.
Roger, for Osprey 495.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's really good fun. Once they iron out the issues with VNAV and all that sort of thing, holds, then this is just going to be such amazing fun for everybody to enjoy. We'll spot some landings, shall we, folks?
Osprey 495, clear to land 27.
Clear to land 27, 495.
Late landing clearance, but I can't see them, whoever that is. Osprey. Oh, that's why, because it's a King Air.
Stage 1 to video, welcome to Bristol, taxi stand 30.
Taxi stand 30, taking 331.
So it says it's loaded in as a Beechcraft King Air 350 Osprey Regional. Ah, here it is.
Expect light landing clearance, Osprey 27.
Oh no, it's not. So we can't see him. That's something I'll need to explore a little bit more, I think. This is John flying in. Yeah, it's the King Air. I'm not sure why the livery's not working for model matching there, but hey ho.
Expedite traffic is half.
He's doing it for the company. What? Oh my god!
The 27 Juliet Mike runway 27 clear to land.
Clear to land, Osprey.
He had a panic in his voice. Oh look, the AI model doesn't do gear down. Unless he's not got his gear down. No. Left his gear down. There goes any profits.
Located on Gulf Express.
Oh no! Taxi stand 29.
Oh. Gear! I should have shouted on the radio, gear. There we are. All traffic divert to Birmingham. Oh. Crikey. Tears in my eyes. John! Absolute shocker. Were you tracking it on New Sky? Roll the trucks. Oh dear. Oh, funny. Well, there goes my £2,000 profit today. You just got a £1 million penalty. Oh, how many deletes do we have? He shows landed, John. Hey, you know what? It's all part of the learning process. The main thing is you've had fun, hopefully. Suddenly the confirmed 3 green, landing gear down 3 green doesn't seem so silly indeed.
Cliff land, runway 27, Steggy 383.
How are we doing? So, the Eastern's down over there. Static 737, Qatar A350 of course. There's the little Logan Air. Oh look, Jet 2. Nice, Jet 2 Holidays spawned in. There's an Osprey ATR. And then an EasyJet parked next to ourselves.
Bristol Tower, Logan 4 Tango Hotel, LSD 414 miles.
Logan 4 Tango Hotel, Bristol Tower, continue approach runway 27, number 2.
Continue approach, Logan 4 Tango Hotel.
That's the point, yeah. Did it class as an emergency? That's the question.
Say again? Three 495, say again.
Requesting parking spot 32 for 3495.
3495, Roger, stand 32 approved.
You can hear the noise in the background for him. That would be the King Air, I think. This is an A330. I think the call sign was Ziggy, I think. That's a question, yeah, John. Did it mention... did you toggle the emergency button in New Sky? Brandon, epic. He's the little Loganair. How are you finding it, Brandon? And the next question is, how many more have we got in bound to the field? Atlanta's probably bugged out there. It thought we were still doing Bristol to Shannon, but it's recorded the flight nevertheless.
Do you want to deboard crew?
Ian, Osprey 2472 is the last one inbound. Got Hergy, Logan F 4 Tango Hotel as well, so 2 left after this A330. Mark, welcome to you. New to stream, hope you're enjoying it. It's a very slow approach to the A330, isn't it? Yeah, go ahead, Mark. Got a question about the ATR. We'll see if we can help answer it. By the way, in 10 minutes, 12 minutes, episode 4 goes live for the ATR tutorials. Not your ramp is the very short topic of that video. About 5 or so minutes roughly. Crikey, Big Bird. Not sure what the call sign is, Ziggy something.
It's Beggy, and it's named after the chicken.
Aaron says if anybody's got the Boeing 737-600 with Osprey, it's been stuck at Amsterdam for ages. That was a nice landing indeed. Very smooth. There's the windsock. You can kind of see it flicking about. A little bit variable. Here's the next one. Hergy. There's late landing clearance probably.
383, welcome to Bristol taxi stand 38.
There we go.
Stand 38 for Steggy 383.
Welcome for Tango Hotel, the wind is 260 degrees at 1
BKG Blueface, is it, do you reckon? Aerosoft A330 secret meter tester. My throttle would not idle, John says. Interesting. It won't idle in in flight idle. It will stay to the bottom of the green lever. Where's the nose wheel steering switch on the ATR? Mark says it's on the left-hand side of the captain's seat. Once he's landed, we'll dip into the flight deck and I'll show you. If you've enjoyed today's live stream, folks, as well, don't forget, give us a little thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're learning the ATR, check out my ATR tutorials to help you get started. On flightsim.to you'll find a free ATR checklist that I've created as well to kind of help you guys out as well.
Bristol Tower, 2472 is established the localizer for runway
Last 2 in. Here comes Hergy. I think one of his first handful of flights in the ATR. That looks very good. Look at that.
Runway 27, Osprey 2472.
Oh, spectacular. 10 out of 10. That was fantastic. Oops, a bit too quick on the zoom. That's a great bit of work there, Hergy. Good job. let's I'll show you the, there it is, that switch there. So just under the EFB, it's guarded, it's automatically on by default, but you can also toggle it off. If you close the guard, it automatically goes back on again as nose wheel steering. Hopefully that helps.
Logan 44 Tango Hotel, correction, Logan 4 Tango Hotel, welcome to Bristol Taxi.
Last one in.
Taxi stand 23, Logan 4 Tango.
Tango 4 Tango Hotel, apologies, it's stand 24.
Stand 24.
Just about see a little fizzle of lights in the background. John, nice landing, Hergy, showing us how it's done. It was fine, John. You know what? We had a good laugh. These things happen. Plus, it's a brand new aeroplane. It's just, I think maybe your second flight in the ATR, isn't it, John? So you know these things are going to happen. Right in the middle of the screen, there's a couple of nav lights just there, with the backdrop of the cloud kind of obscuring it. Right there at the tip of the cursor. Mark says I can't steer the ATR from the gate.
Osprey 2472, the wind is 260 degrees.
That's because you have the gust lock engaged. You need to make sure that's in the up position like that.
Osprey 2472.
Again, if you haven't done so already, Mark, check out my tutorials that went live over the last couple of days. That will make sure that you get started nice and confidently without you making too many mistakes, and you should then be able to complete a nice simple flight. It is worth, with any of these aeroplanes that get released that have a fairly decent level of complexity to them, it is worth taking the time to learn various different functions on them. Where do we get the livery from? Flightsim.to. It's a PC only resource website though, sadly, so if you're on Xbox there aren't any liveries available for it, at least for now. Looks like he's crabbing towards us a little bit. There's the windsock. We do have Discord, yeah. Lazaros. To be fair, you probably only had about 4 passengers. We have 1 delete left in New Sky. My God. I didn't realise we'd used so many. There's the link to Discord in the live chat for you, Mark. And here comes the final Osprey pilot. Ian's second flight with the ATR, I believe. Looking nice. Good height over the threshold there. There's the touchdown zone. Nice. Bloody ripper. Great job. When we spoke about the elevation of the runway at Bristol, look at that. Look at the weird bumpiness to it. That is the case in real life as well for the airport. It's up there, really wavy, and at the top of the hill, so it's affected adversely quite a lot by weather sweeping over the top of Lulls Gate. Makes it a very unique airport to go and fly from. Certainly with these smaller props makes it quite challenging as well. You saw how much we were being thrown around on the approach. There's our beacon lights. We've left them on because New Sky was tracking. We turn that off now. Quite bright actually, aren't they? And here we are. Bristol to Shannon and back again with the new Microsoft Flight Simulator ATR72. Second flight properly in the ATR Live and having a really good experience with it so far. Literally 3 minutes to go for ATR series tutorial series episode 4, and it's going to discuss
taxi to stand 29, thanks for the ATC, have a good night.
Or notch power. Nice and easy for a topic. Hope you guys have all enjoyed the live stream. Enjoy the weekend ahead as well. If you are flying, wherever you are flying in the sim, let us know in Discord. Share your screenshots in there as well. We'll continue the conversation there as always too. Thank you to everybody who's flown along. Thanks to our ATC at Bristol for logging in at the end too. Really appreciate that. Very, very nice of you to give us a bit of controller action at the start. And keep your eye out on the channel for some more ATR liveries coming in the near future. In the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you very soon. Take care.